It spins, trying to dislodge its enemies. They cling tighter, so it lets out a shriek that pops their eyeballs. The squids release a cloud of ink and jump off into the darkness.
It's gross.
What? What's the face for, T?
I'm not here. You don't see me.
Okay.
I don't know what's
So
happening.
you guys, when we left off last time, you had just defeated the electric vampires, and defeated uh, what's his face? The avatar of the Lord of Many Faces,
Oh
one of the
yeah.
rulers of the Nine Hells, that had infected some sort of chamber that houses thousands of brains and speaks to you psychically through a floating eyeball, very large floating eyeball. You were fighting along. You were fighting alongside Henrik and Beth Vandervoort III, who at first you thought were crazy, and then it turns out they knew a lot more than you thought. They
They're still
still
crazy
might be crazy.
though.
Yep,
That
still very
really are
possible
still
that they're crazy. Um, and that's it. We wrapped up right at the end of the fight. So, what do you guys want to do?
Um, what do what do we
Move
know
the
about this
bodies?
eye?
It started to speak to you. The entire chamber activated when you turned on the power. Basically,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rivulets of Brian acted as conductors of some sort of energy that opened the doors to this chamber, and then it began to speak to you in a very mechanical, otherworldly sounding voice. And then it flashed red and said there was some sort of intruder, and that's when the avatar of the many faced lord appeared and was really angry with you personally for some reason.
I mean, I think at this point we're used to
Yeah.
that.
I believe it screamed that you should be long dead by now. And then you killed it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. It did say that.
Yeah.
Um,
We need to
Someone.
go find the um, vampire, though, right?
no, didn't we kill them?
Uh,
Did they all explode?
No, but the one turned
you,
to mist.
Oh, the possibly good vampire.
Yeah, yeah. We need to search the rest of this area and make sure
I don't
that
remember
the.
him being possibly good. I remember him trying to kill us all.
No, wait. Which vampire you're talking about? Are you talking about the one that
The one
the
that tried to eat my soul.
yeah
Every
isn't
vampire that we have encountered.
yeah those ones all exploded, didn't they?
they did, but you don't know if they're dead or
Yeah,
not.
but like Andy
They
said, like we.
exploded.
Stop it. Stop. You're not-
I'm pretty sure there was one that did try to escape through the. They became a mist.
If you
Yep,
say
the
if you say they
when you killed
exploded
the
one
main
more
one, it definitely went into one of the conduits
Thank
and
you.
Okay.
shot off
we didn't
electrically.
get a
And
chance.
from what
Maybe not a
Adam was
mist.
saying, the dwarves did tell you that there is a vampire or was a
Yeah.
vampire who prowled around the slums and took out really nasty criminals
We didn't do the
for the
thing that
dwarves.
you are supposed to do in every good RPG where you explore all the areas that you're not that are not the boss fight first. We didn't do that yet, so we have to do that now
No,
so
you
that we
Yeah.
can
definitely
find out.
did
We
that.
we did. We just didn't fully explore. We opened up all the doors, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's
and
the
now we
best way
just
to
need
check
to
a room because that way a mimic doesn't try to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least since all the doors are open, you don't have to worry about that one mimic where you go grab the door handle and turns into
Um,
something you don't want to grab.
I would like to. I mean, I'm saying this. I'm not saying that we should start this right away. I'm just saying. I would like to talk to this eyeball and figure out what it is and what it knows, because it knew that there were intruders before we did. I mean, we knew there were going to be intruders, but it was alerted before we did, so it might know where, if there's another uh, vampire
Yeah,
that got away, it might know where it is.
that's a good call. And also, it was turned off while they lived here, so I'm assuming they either found it in that state or they turned it off purposely because
Yeah,
of. So
We're
yeah,
also pretty sure we know which one he's in.
yeah,
He's
well,
in
we
the
that
nice
was.
know.
looking one on the west side.
Well,
Yeah,
is that?
that was, but that was ouch, that was being destroyed. Like
That's
when
conjecture.
Yeah, but it was slow.
it was slow.
So it might have been placed there because it was meant to be destroyed and then it never was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Then maybe Mike can clarify this, but from what I understood, this machine, whatever this thing is, was turned off prior to the infestation, and all of those side rooms, when we turned it on, started like that electrical.
whirring and humming.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
all of the side rooms were right. It wasn't just a couple of them. It was all of them.
Well, only certain ones had anything to do with the power structure, but when you guys started exploring the side rooms, you reactivated a portion of the power structure. Some of it has been
Okay.
damaged, so
Okay.
the whatever this place is not fully powered right now. But
Okay.
um, other rooms appeared to be storage of some kind, and there was a lot of stuff that you didn't examine real closely, but you took a decent look at.
Yeah.
You found those weird cubes that floated around and other things like that. But overall, yeah, this is a powered room that or complex that is not fully powered right now.
Okay. Um, my thought, and we can talk to the eye and hopefully get some clarity on this. But my thought is that the the coffin that was pretty clearly the main coffin was being actively destroyed at a slow pace, but it was actively being destroyed, wasn't it?
It was when the power came back on.
Right.
It
Yeah.
didn't look like it had been happening to any of the other fixtures here until the power came back on.
Okay.
It also, I'll
Yeah.
remind you that the coffin was of a different artistic style than
Right.
the rest of the building.
Right.
It was one you recognized. The rest of the complex is dwarven esque, but it's real different. The coffin was very familiar to you, antiquated but familiar.
Do you mean familiar like on a personal level, or familiar like this is clearly
Culturally,
Roman? Okay.
yeah, no, it's culturally. It's
Okay.
clearly dwarven.
Okay. Um, I don't know. What was the what seemed to be the race of the vampires? I don't know if we got
They were
that answer.
dwarves.
They were
I meant
dwarves.
to tell you they were dwarves, but
You may
yeah,
have, and I don't
no, I don't
remember.
think I did because I thought about that afterwards. That I should have like played up more of their dwarviness and had them like bowling into you and tackling you and stuff. Instead, I just played them as electrical monstrosities that happen to be
Okay.
vampires.
Okay.
So it was a little disappointing in the DM part on me because I was like, oh, I totally should have played up their dwarfiness. So I did not tell you.
I feel like when you say that bowling into each other, you were turning them into the dwarves from The Hobbit, except
Oh
except they had electrical things shooting
no,
out of them.
no, I meant more the way that you run into things and pick them up and slam
Oh,
them down.
okay. All right. That's better.
So you could talk to the eyeball, which does seem to be functioning normally again, or you can go hunt down the electric vampire that fled through the conduiting.
Our
Should probably talk to the
Heinrich,
eyeball about that first.
yeah. Our
And
Heinrich,
Henrik.
are they? What are they doing? Are they getting ready to leave?
Yeah, they look like they're packing up with and not wanting to delay. They're collecting their thoughts and bandaging up open wounds and getting ready to move on.
Okay. Um.
Does he think that that vampire is still around and needs to be destroyed?
Yes.
Absolutely, he would say.
This was absolutely all in one episode.
Does he think that it's probably in that room to the west that we think it is?
Him and Beth are headed.
Sorry, did you say that's where they're headed?
Yeah, that's where him and Beth are headed.
Okay, maybe we should just go over there with them right away then.
Um. Part of it is that I don't. I'm not. I'm not sure about their ability to solid decisions. Do we want to talk to the eye real quick, or do we want to follow them? Andy, do you have any
I mean,
input?
Mav did not like being eaten by a vampire.
Sure.
That's true.
And Thanik didn't like you being eaten by a vampire either.
Neither did Othig.
This is
All things seem to enjoy it.
in my head. This is
way.
in my head. This is one of those work smarter, not harder. The question is which is the smarter decision? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whichever one you guys make.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm with
I
that.
vote the vampire. Or the
Alright.
eye.
Yeah. My only thought on
Thank
talking
you
to the eye
for that.
quickly
Jeez.
is the eye might know where the vampires are. If they're
That,
still
and we
even
could ask the eye if there's more danger.
right.
Sure. So those two questions, real quick, then. I mean, they're still bandaging up wounds, so I think we have. I think there's probably time before they jettison out of this room to ask the eye those two questions real fast.
Okay. So you go to ask the eye a question, and you see the aperture kind of its eye kind of shrink in and focus out. And now that you've been a little bit closer to it, you realize it's covered in language and all sorts of ruins that you don't recognize. Some of the language you do recognize, some of it you don't. All of it's old. And it says that it is currently recalculating most of its information. The power coming to it is not sufficient for it to process its data quickly. Then it asks, "What is it you would like to know?"
Is there any other intruders left in the building?
There will be an intruder in approximately 1 minute,
Where is he
and then
currently?
more shortly thereafter.
Oh.
Andy, your wife is asking me to let you know that she's asking you questions.
I know. I saw that she texted me.
How many more,
I'm in
and
the
are
middle
they
of a
the
very
same
important
as the
thing.
ones we just fought?
It's trying to not interrupt.
What? I'm sorry, Ryan. What did you say?
How many more, and are they the same as the ones we just fought?
The eye kind of spins sideways and then looks back, and it says, "Different, unknown
Okay.
quantities."
All right. I'm not sure that we have time to delve into that any further. Can it determine where that one threat is currently in the building?
The threat currently in the building. There is no threat to me in the building.
How about to us?
A possible threat to you exists short walk to the east, or to the west.
east. To the west.
To the west. Sorry.
Got it. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we just need to deal with that first and then
Sure.
re-energize this thing and try to get this figured out before the masses come to attack
Yeah, I'm
us.
fine with that. I'm fine with that. Let's go. Let's go to the west.
So I think we
Okay.
share that information with Heinrich and Beth as well.
Yeah. So they get their weapons ready again. They were just going to run quickly with their weapon sheaths, but they pull them out, and then you guys hear a really strange sound. It starts out sounding like air leaking out of something, like a hissing sound, and then it grows into almost like a high-pitched screaming giggle. And maybe we should wait for Andy to get back.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
other thing I was
think
going to ask before we set out too far is that Thanik and I are pretty beat up, and we
I
should
was
probably
just gonna say that. Like,
we
we should wait for
figure
Andy
out
so he could at least bandage us.
or just figure out like how we're gonna take care of this. Like I don't care if it's Andy or if we need to do something, but we should probably definitely do something.
Yeah.
He is
Andy would
indisposed at the
probably be
moment.
the only healing options that you have left. Heinrich is, well, he's pretty tapped out.
I mean, I'm just thinking like I could use my second wind and some potions or whatever else is available, but
Yeah. So
I
let's
try
wait
to
for
only use those when there's no other options.
let's wait for Andy, because I don't think he's healer kitted you guys yet, or himself.
He hasn't.
So he could take a minute to do that.
Yeah.
And there he is.
I think he's back.
Yep. All right. So the guys are about to head out, but they would really like it if Mav busted out that healer's kit.
Pansies.
There is also a
Spoken like a
strange.
true healer.
The eyeball did confirm for you that there is a threat to you to the west still, and there are intruders
To me
approaching
personally, or
To
to the
to
group?
us.
To
the
us.
to
group.
you.
He emphasized like the you.
Yep.
The
There-
eye directly looked at.
To to
Matt
us
opened
of
its
the
eye at
fluffy
me and said,
variety.
Oh.
"Threat."
Yeah, there is a map. Let me
Yeah, it's
share it.
called
Yeah, there should be a
the
map.
place. It's literally called the place.
So and you did start to hear a sound coming from the east as well.
That was because I asked it to be
Yep.
called the place.
Yep. Because it didn't used to be called
Okay.
that.
Well, I am going to cast Beacon of Hope,
Right
Yes.
on.
Freaking love bacon.
How long does that take to cast?
an action.
Oh, okay,
6
okay,
seconds.
okay. Oh, I was thinking of
Do you have a problem with that?
No, I was thinking of the other one that casts like takes like 10 minutes to cast. What's
Prayer
the
of
name of
healing.
this?
Yeah,
what
prayer
are
of
they?
healing.
Because we only have a minute.
The three of us, and do 3 actions to heal. Thanic,
Yeah.
are you able to shoot me with a 6th level spell?
Not a 6th. I can use a 5th.
Never mind. That actually, I don't need that.
I can hit you with a 7th.
I don't need that either. That's okay. We'll make this work. Mav
Oh
is gonna
no, you're right. I can cast the spell. It doesn't have to be at you. I can cast a 6th level spell. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
If you need it. If you need it.
I should be good for now. I don't have Death Ward, but that's okay. Mav is going to hand Othig a potion and tell him to take it when the time feels right.
Okay.
The time
What did
feels
I-
right
What
now.
did I just acquire?
Is it Milla time?
Yeah.
You just acquired a potion of speed.
Oh.
Ooh,
And
potion of
you
speed.
should crack
Just
that
gave you
off,
some
at
Adderall,
the
yo.
beginning of our fight.
Okay.
Potion
Okay.
of speed.
So
Okay.
that counts as you being hasted.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
figured.
So you guys bandage up real quick, and you start to head out to the west. But the sound you heard was coming from the east.
Yeah,
Do you
can
want
you
to
just
investigate?
explain? I know you explained it, but can you just explain it one more time?
It starts out as a hissing sound, like air escaping from something,
Yeah.
and then it ends up with a bunch of high pitched giggling and laughing, and then it goes quiet.
Mike, I'm also casting Holy Weapon on Othig. So
Okay.
he has Holy Weapon for the next hour.
Nice.
That thing's an hour.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know
I
if
have to
I've ever
maintain
like made
concentration,
that
but-
connection. Okay.
So how
So
many
that's-
attacks is that around Othig?
A lot. So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to the west really quick, or do you want to check out the sound to the east?
No, I think the west really quick because the I specifically said we have about a minute, so we should really go figure that out.
Okay. I would say that between the bandaging and everything else that you've done, the minute has probably passed.
Yeah,
That
we're at
sound you
least
heard
30
was
seconds
probably
in.
the arrival of the first incoming intruders.
Oh, jeez. What? Oh boy. So you're giving us a moment to basically have some conversation and make a decision here.
You need to make a decision on which way you want to go. Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to chase down the vampire, or
What if we
if you
split
want
up?
to,
We don't want
you
to
can
split up.
definitely
We
split
don't-
the party.
We don't
You can
wanna
always
split
split
up.
the party.
What if just Heinrich and Beth went?
They feel capable of handling the vampire in its coffin before it regenerates. They would tell you that.
Let's do that.
Are they comfortable with that, knowing that there's waves of an untold wave of threats coming towards us?
As long as you're not planning on leaving them alone here, they're
No.
comfortable with that.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
then
Heinrich says there's never anything comfortable about monster hunting friends. Ha ha! And he makes a fist at you.
who does he? Who else does he remind me of? It's like, I don't know.
Cornwall.
Cornwall.
No,
He is
no,
a little
actually.
Cornwally, but he's definitely more put together than Cornwall.
Is he a manic gum chewing gnome?
Oh, I know who he reminds me of. Okay. Anyway, we should go to the east then.
Okay, so then I will remove the party, and you guys head to the east. Make perception checks for me.
Mike, I'm drinking a
Sure.
potion as well.
Okay. Which potion are you drinking, sir?
The one that I wanted to drink last time, but it doesn't do quite what I wanted to do. But I am resistant to all damage
Okay, for how long?
for a minute.
Okay. Make a perception check first.
Oh, well,
Before you do
Wow,
that.
that was actually pretty good.
hey,
That's pretty good. So, Mav, you hear a fairly familiar voice coming towards you, and you hear it saying, "And so I told the rabbi, you're not cutting anything with that knife, friend." And then you hear, and you hear a squeaky little laugh alongside of it, too. And you see coming around the corner Ulrin, Randy, and Jeff.
Mav just makes a comment about how he figured it'd be pretty quick that they got sick of him.
We
And Ulrin says, "No, actually, he was really helpful. I'll tell you all about it someday." But Randy kind of slugs him in the shoulder, says, "Yeah, but we gotta go now before that Moyle joke is way too real for Ulrin, right? Am I right?" And Ulrin kind of looks down and he's like, "Yes, I have some old debts to pay. So thanks for letting us borrow the pipsqueak." And he slaps Jeff on the back. He says, "See you around, buddy." And Randy opens up another portal and they slip through. And Jeff's back.
Hi, Jeff.
where are we?
We're
We're
in
in
the
Euros.
waste.
I'm just gonna look around, all confused.
we'll talk about it later.
It's cold here.
It is a little, actually, it's really warm in here.
Did
All of the
did-
electricity conducting through all of the metal and up the pylons here. It's really warm here.
we haven't ventured too far to the east, have we?
No, you're probably right about there.
Okay. Did the eye say where those additional threats were coming from, or
No.
just that
It
they
did
were
not.
coming?
And it was that they were coming, that there was an arrival of someone in the next minute, and then something else several minutes after that.
Should probably try to get more details on that then. Stage a good offensive here.
I think it would be a good thing to ask how it is aware of time
Yeah,
and
that's
such a
that it knows about an impending threat.
yeah.
Like, just in that aspect, yeah, that'd probably also be good. But I'm not sure that we have time to really.
But maybe we do have time.
Maybe we do, but maybe we could also try to find the power source here to see if this thing is gonna
Did
aid
we
us
ask
in.
her where the power source was?
No,
It
we
might
did
be
not
good
do
to
that either.
know what this thing even is before we turn it on.
Does this thing care that you're talking
We
in front of
never
it?
do stuff like that. Are you kidding me?
Yes, but maybe we should start.
Hey,
We
hey,
always say that, and we
hey,
never do it.
hey,
Though.
I know, so
Hey,
why don't we this
hey,
time?
This is the
hey,
granite back way.
hey, hey, hey.
You're playing
what?
very out of character this week. I
Do
gotta say.
do any of you care that this thing can hear all of you talking? Do you trust that thing?
Oh, Othig
Do
never
you-
cares.
I will just look at Jeff and say, "Well, do you see any ears?"
That is definitely something Othig would say.
No, I don't.
Problem solved.
I mean,
Have you been
Yep.
talking to it?
Oh yeah.
Then it can hear you.
probably.
Is it friend or foe?
Duh.
It's not. It is not. So we'll fill Jeff in. That was
You were
really
gonna
difficult
say
for me to
fill in.
No, I don't know what I was gonna say, but I
Yeah.
got to fill, and my
I
head.
think that's
stuck.
It's very clear you don't have time for that, so I'm just going to follow you around to make sure you don't die. But before I do that, I'm going to cast Rary's telepathic bond on everybody.
Okay.
I'm just going to do that. I'm going to expend the spell slot to do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then in my brain, I'm just going to be like, pick a direction.
Does it? Does the eyeball know where wise the threat will be coming in from?
It would tell you it is uncertain of it has a problem targeting its exact location. It just knows it's coming here.
Does it not know the location because it's not at full power?
I am having trouble calculating things that precise.
How do we
How do
Can
we
you-
increase the power level?
Can you communicate with us while we're in a different room?
No, unfortunately, you'll have to be standing in this room.
Okay.
is this the
So you don't-
part now where you want to ask it if it's evil or good?
Hey, Thanak, I
No,
also
but he
don't.
just doesn't have a PA system. What?
I don't see any mouths. How is this thing talking to us?
In your brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Does that
we
make you
forgot to
feel
mention
better,
that
Tony?
part.
No, it
I
doesn't.
completely did not hear you discussing whether or not I was evil or good out in the hallway.
Are you?
I am indifferent.
I mean,
I-
that's
I say we
fair.
turn it on.
I start unbuttoning my cloak.
What?
Whoa, whoa.
I
Not
mean,
that kind
you've
of
never
man.
treated me like a bard before, but I guess I'll get after it.
Oh, jeez.
I roll
Sassy
to
bard.
seduce the eyeball.
Sassy tiny
It's-
bard.
It's quite large. It's almost as big as Jeff.
Oh, this is gonna
Do you
hurt.
mean the eye, or do you mean?
Jeez.
Well, not the eye.
Happy to see him.
Jeff's a tripod.
It's true.
Um,
Like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Where's
Yeah.
its power sources?
Unfortunately, one has been destroyed
Oh,
as time has passed. I do not think I can be fully restored without extensive repairs.
I mean, it's a
Okay.
good thing the granite bags are here. That's really the only thing they're good at.
I mean, it's something we're really good at.
I
Fixing
wouldn't say
things.
that.
While we wait, I guess, for the impending threat, I would like to.
Could we just leave? Do we have an option to just leave? Why do we have to wait for a threat? Why can't we just leave?
Well,
We're trying to fix
Because-
the problem.
here's the thing: we're in Euros,
Yeah.
and while we were there was the calamity earthquake, whatever it was, unearthed a bunch of not used old ancient areas that may be connected to.
When you
What?
say old ancient areas, how old exactly?
Like
Old.
we've never.
Like, you know that ale we were drinking?
Yeah, like that. Like
So
that.
not credit card old.
Possibly credit card old.
Why are you staying here? Every creature that's ever been near you when you've been by these things has told you avoid them or you'll be erased from existence.
Wait, what are you talking about?
If we're in old world tech right now, if we are currently in a place that has anything to do with the old world, 3 times we have been warned. Sorry, you guys have been warned. I know this through legend lore. 3 times in your existences, you have been warned that if you mess with old world tech, you will be erased from existence.
I don't remember this at all.
Hold on, I'll quote it for you. The dragon said it to you. You know, the first dragon, the only dragon that was there at the
Yeah,
beginning
the
of
red
time.
dragon?
The kraken warned you to your
What did they
faces.
say? I don't remember. I legitimately have no memory of it.
I do.
What did he say?
The dragon told you that if you mess with old world tech, because you guys had a credit card or a piece of plastic or something, and it said,
No,
"Where'd you
credit
get
card-
that?" It said, "Where'd you get that?" And
Why do
you
I not
explained
know
it.
what credit card you're talking about?
It was like a door key or a credit card or something.
It-
when we
oh,
explored the ship.
A plastic key for opening doors.
with the aliens and the predators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've been warned, and then the lady that I didn't get to meet, but I know about,
Queen?
the queen, also told you, mess with old world tech, you go bye-bye forever.
I feel like it's the specific phrasing. Mess with old world tech and you go bye bye forever. I have no memory of anything relating to anything like that.
Yeah, same.
So
I do believe-
instead of phrasing this like Tony,
No, that's how Jeffrey's saying it.
yes, I know. Could you stop? Because I don't remember that. That's not taking anything.
So we as we have been playing have experienced old world tech twice now. Once with a torpedo thing. No, that was the other one.
group.
I don't remember specifically what we've encountered, but I know there was a spaceship.
Torpedo, we could do some stuff.
Hold on, there was a spaceship.
Mhm.
Yep, it was the alien versus predator stuff.
Yep, and then the old world credit card door opener thing. And anytime that we've come across something old enough to know anything about those, we have been told that those things should be forgotten. And anyone who decides to try and bring those things back or engage with them, there are creatures in the multiverse that are designed specifically to remove them from existence.
We're not trying to engage with them.
Are we currently in a place where we are engaging with it?
Well,
no, we're
here's
trying
the
to fix
thing.
an issue for Euros.
Here's the thing. I clearly did forget about it, so we're fine.
So Tony's got it pretty accurate. Somebody specifically asked the queen if there was something from the old world that could be found to help them, and the queen responded, "Don't ever, ever, ever do that." Basically,
Yeah.
when the Kraken rescued the submarine from the maelstrom, there was an ancient city on the floor of the ocean that you spotted, and the Kraken told you, "Don't screw with it."
That's what it was.
And then somebody had something of old world tech. I don't remember if it was a key card or plastic or action figures or something. It wasn't action figures. That is another group. And the shepherd told you to get rid of it. So you have indeed been warned not to play with old world things.
Did we get rid of it?
Probably. I think he
you
took
left it with the shepherd.
I don't have it in my inventory, if that's what you're asking.
Well, that's good.
So
Okay, so
I'm
maybe
disappointed you might still have it.
since none of us remember this, maybe we just go catch up with Heinrich and Beth and make sure that the task has been completed and we all get out of here.
All of that being said, I would still like to ask this what its purpose is. Because
It
we
tells
keep
you that
talking about like turning it on, and we might want to just turn this off.
it tells you that it is Chronicler 347. Its purpose is to forecast what is to come and to record what has happened.
Does it know who created it?
It lists a name that it's a really, like, you're like, that doesn't sound like a really common name. It's like Thomas Benschwitz or something like that. It's like just random 21st century name.
Ben Schwartz. Okay.
Ben Schwartz.
It would say it was a collaboration of scientists led by renowned AI specialist Steve Jobs. I don't know.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk created it.
This is totally an Elon Musk thing.
I was created by Facebook.
That I believe more than Elon Musk.
I
Yeah,
operate
me too.
solely to propagate TikTok.
Let's go check on
Heinrich and Beth.
Heinrich. Yeah.
Okay. So you go and check on Heinrich, and they are in the middle of conducting a ritual. There is a metal stake shoved into the heart of the vampire. They have the lid off the coffin. It does look like the magnetic field that is currently suspending the coffin is hurting Heinrich quite a bit as Beth conducts this ritual, but it does look like he's going to make it out. He doesn't look like he's about to die, that's for sure, and he's getting close to being done.
I guess I'll just, at the very least, pull out a potion just for him to grab when he's done.
Okay. So he comes down with his mallet on another strike, and there is this whoomph sound, and an electrical, like static discharge, courses through the room, and all of your hair and your beards get all frizzled and begin to stand on end, and it's really really heavy in the air. And he backs up from the coffin, and there is nothing left in it, but maybe some really fine, almost like flour level powder.
Okay.
Wow.
If I pull out my hammer, does it uh, affect the ambient like electrical charge
Um,
in the room?
it does to some degree, like it did in the other rooms. You see
Just to
it
make it.
gathering electricity, and then the electricity arcs off of it to one of the nearby conduits in the floor.
Okay. All right. Just to make it more tolerable in the room. And I'll hand him a D4 potion.
Okay, he takes it very happily. Um, he mentions that he's already used his two that he brought with him
Yeah.
in order to sustain himself during the ritual. I will add them back to the party now. Oh, I get to put Jeff back in the party too. How
Yeah.
fun! Whoop.
Well, he can have another D4 from me then.
Okay. That would put him probably to this. Okay. So he's a little busted up, but he's functional, and he asks, "What now?"
Um,
We should go.
I don't know if we should.
Do you want to turn it off?
I don't know what I want. I don't want if there's something that's a threat to this thing. I don't necessarily want to. I'm not interested in protecting it per se. It's more about whatever this thing is. I don't want someone to come and take control of it that could use it against Euros.
If someone comes here to try and use this at all, someone else is going to come here and stop them. Something of this thing's nature, as old as it is, there are things out there that are meant to stop what you're talking about. We're not part of that.
What if we are? What
I,
if we are the ones who are meant to stop them?
we're not that
I don't-
important.
I don't know that
We
we're
would
not.
have been contacted by somebody way bigger than all of this.
Hey guys, I
We
realized
have
why...
been. You had a conversation with the martyr himself.
I think it's bigger than that.
We at least know that the singular threat was meant for us, but I don't think we ever actually asked if the multiple impending threat was meant for us or the machine.
I don't know.
I think it's actually meant for the machine, and we might just want to ask that, but I'm not sure if it's going to change our course of action, because it sounds like we should probably either disengage this thing or just leave entirely.
I mean, ultimately, I don't believe in coincidence.
I don't either. Uh, it's not a coincidence that you guys keep running into stuff like this, and there's things in the multiverse that want you dead. It's not a coincidence that you keep getting drawn to things that are going to destroy you when there are armies on planes of existence that would like to see your head on spikes.
I
There-
think that means we're doing something right.
I agree, but I don't think this is it.
At least we don't have a penis on our face.
That
I know.
that's entirely true. Or got eaten by a dragon lady,
Allegedly.
allegedly. But
No,
like
he
was definitely-
he
was
did get
definitely
eaten.
um
That did get eaten. There was no allegedly about it.
so Jeffrey has always been very proper with you guys and has always been very kowtow with you guys. I don't think he is in this setting. I genuinely think this is probably the first and only time he's actually going to puff up to Thanak and be like, bruh, the the queen, the shepherd, they told you not to mess with this stuff.
I know. I'm not saying we mess with it. I'm saying we also stop other people from messing with it.
That's kind of still messing with it.
No, it's not.
I I think it is. Like genuinely, it has its own trajectory in the timeline, and I think any interaction we have with it is considered messing with it to the inevitables.
I think like what Tony's saying is is
We
very valid and could quite possibly be the case, but unless we are willing to take some amount of time to uh, you know basically ascertain if that's the fact or not by asking this thing a few more questions. um I mean, we're kind of running out of time because something's going to happen here pretty soon, and we just need to be
Mhm.
decided about what it is
Here's
that
the
we're
thing.
going to do in relation
We
to it.
know we are supposed to be here. We know we are supposed to be here because
Well,
the angel Aboleth told us we're supposed to be here. I feel like we are not supposed to be here just to kill a couple of vampires when Heinrich is already doing it.
and
wait,
is Heinrich your
why?
friend?
Why else are we supposed to be here besides just those vampires?
I don't know, but the angel
You-
Aboleth told us to come here.
You were sent here to stop the many-faced Lord from acquiring something.
Have you done
I
that?
don't know if I don't know. We
What was he
stopped.
after?
We don't know.
Is he still here?
We don't know.
Not in this room.
In a court of law, are we innocent right now?
Of what?
Exactly.
But that also means, are we guilty of something? Of what?
Interacting with something we're not supposed to be.
Case closed. Grandpacks are guilty.
We know that we were sent here, that we are supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm. My only role in life is to make sure that you guys don't fail, and I'm going to continue to try and do that. I'm just trying to make it not harder.
Okay. So I have been keeping track of this conversation to some degree,
Mhm.
time-wise.
Mhm.
There are 3 loud explosions from the main chamber while you're continuing to have this discussion. So I'm going to put you guys
Again,
over
I
here on
want
the
to
map.
point it out that we are all probably just staring at each other, mentally having this conversation.
Well, Heinrich and
silently.
Beth are like,
Probably.
Meanwhile, this eyeball is probably over there in the corner by now after the 3 explosions, saying,
Being
"I'm sorry,
stolen.
Dave, I can't
Do
do
I
that."
know
Yeah.
either of these other 2 people?
You have
And-
no idea who these other 2
yeah.
people are.
Are these 2 your friends?
They replaced you.
Sure.
No.
Are they your
Nice.
Are they your friends though?
They're temporary allies.
Okay, so they're not somebody we knew beforehand.
I was really hoping that you were going to just say like a simple one-word answer, and that was going to be yes, because I was immediately going to interject with no.
Well,
Meaning value.
my only
Um,
concern is the angel Aboleth told us to not help any of our friends while we're here.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we have previously already had that conversation. Um, um, what was I going to say? Oh, Jeff is somewhat of a learned person, isn't he?
Very much so. I've used Legend
Um,
Lore to learn everything about you guys.
What about like just reading books though?
Yeah.
I mean, like, are you the kind of guy that would go like read history books type
Mhm.
stuff?
Yeah.
You might know who these guys are.
Oh, okay.
Heinrich has written what 48 books and a children's book. Is that what it was?
He's working on one.
Oh, is this the
48
Vandervoot
including a
dude?
children's
Is
book.
this the vampire hunters?
Yeah.
Oh, we lost
Yeah.
Mike.
Heinrich
Well, I knew that.
Vandervoot.
Oh
Yeah,
no, Mike,
Van-
come
yeah.
back! I was gonna get a picture.
Vandervoort, I think.
Okay, yeah,
It
and
said that.
this is his apprentice. This is basically the
wife.
new.
It's his wife.
Oh, not okay, but this is basically the new. Esmeralda and.
Sort of. I mean, like they.
Hold
If
on,
I
I can't hear
remember,
anybody. I have to switch. Yeah,
can you hear us now?
No, I should be able to hear everybody. Why
I
can't
can
they
hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Right, but he can't hear us, so telling
I
him
said
that
it
isn't helpful.
I
Can
can't
you hear us
see him
now?
either, but
I can.
I can.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah. Mike, can you clear something up for us?
Sure.
Heinrich, this Heinrich he never knew what's his name, right? The other guy
Van
from
Richten?
Strahd.
Van
Yeah.
Richten.
No, he knew Van Richten up until the point when some strange figures came through a portal and pulled him away, and no one ever saw him
Oh,
again.
and he is like one of the only people who still does remember him. Okay, I
Correct.
couldn't remember because of the like double Heinrich. I
Mhm.
couldn't remember which was which. Like who actually knew him and who was a fake.
Who knew who?
Double Heinrich
Um,
was so fun.
yeah. So he's not
Well,
really
in the original timeline, this guy dies, and his father is the old man who caused all the problems with Strahd.
right.
So this is the old man's son who didn't die, and Rudy did instead.
Right.
Well, that sounds
Yep.
bad.
Mhm.
But Tony, he's not really the new. He's sort of just adjacent.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. Um, but no, we never met them up until we got to Euros, and there was a we met some old friends in a loose sense. Somebody that we had one of the soldiers that we worked with very briefly in Euros.
There are now
He,
more explosions
Yeah,
I
I was,
from
I
the
was
other
gonna say
area.
we could
like
go.
I-
We can go. I'm just saying. I was just clearing Tony up.
I appreciate it.
While
I know,
while
but
you were
Tony's the
you
one
were,
who asked, "Are these your
we were
friends?"
waiting to make a decision this whole time.
Yep.
we were having this conversation while you were not.
You never
alive.
actually said like you made a decision.
For what?
Can we leave?
Like we're still in the
Yes, of
building.
course. There's explosions. Why are we not going towards them? Why are you even asking? There are
This is
explosions. Go towards them.
Oh,
that's exactly what Tony was saying. We probably shouldn't do though.
We
I'm
have
pretty
to
sure.
anyways. We can't leave from this room
sure we
in
can.
order to. No, we can't.
Why?
Because in order to leave the building, we have to go through where the explosions are.
No, I can just cast teleportation circle and we can go over we want.
No, where did we actually come in
Okay.
from though? No, the middle chamber.
We
not-
still have to stop the many-eyed.
All right, then let's go kill
Yeah.
some stuff.
No,
What
that's where
else?
we came from. That's where we came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Anyway,
think teleportation circle does take 1 minute to.
Oh yeah,
cast.
yeah. Which I could have started a while ago, but we've been
You
talking.
could have, but you
listen,
didn't.
the HAL 3000 is probably dead by now anyway.
I also feel like that's sort of a waste of a spell to just go outside to like teleport like 30 feet.
Oh no, I would be teleporting us back to the keep.
No, we're not done here.
No.
Okay,
Can't
then
go to the keep. That's a bad idea.
Why can't we go to the keep? I mean-
because we need to be in Euros.
Oh yeah. We'd immediately
that's
have
what-
to just come right back.
Thousands of miles.
So
away.
Heinrich and Beth are just now like, we're leaving. You
Yeah,
guys
that's fine.
continue to stare longingly into each other's eyes, but
We
we're
are
out.
we are the men who stare dwarves.
I'm Jeffrey.
No,
I'll
they
just
start-
tell them who I
They
am.
start running for the door.
I like how
everybody
we've
else-
become the crazy people now.
Become. So you're all running then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll follow Beth.
So
She
you
seems
guys-
like the smart one.
Come through this door, and I threw your group token on the map, and you see in the main area 3 of these things.
Yes. That's not
Definitely
good.
drinking that potion now.
So you see 3 of those things. There is a giant laser beam coming out of that disc in the center of them, and it is just swooping around the rooms, disintegrating everything. When they see you, they turn simultaneously, and you hear them all utter in a very robotic tone, "Halt, or you
Alright.
will be destroyed."
Well, let's halt.
They see that you respond. Let me put them on the map where they're at.
Guys, this is bad.
Probably.
Jeff, every moment of your life is bad. Calm down.
So they drift over to here.
Does
2 of them
Adam
do.
does
One of
Adam
them
know what that is?
moves forward up into here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's a Marut.
and they ask you what your business is here.
We
Talk
were
about the vampires.
fighting, killing vampires.
They don't look at each other, but you can tell they're communicating. And they ask you if you had any interaction with the brain.
No.
Not with. What is the brain?
No, Adam, don't ask the question. Just say no. We
Yes,
have
but
not had
I'm
an
not.
interaction with the brain.
But maybe we did, and then we're lying to it.
But we're not lying if we don't know.
That is lying.
In this situation, he wants you to feign ignorance.
Yes, but
Would be the better option.
ignorance. If you
Ignorance
murder
is
somebody
good.
and on accident, you still murdered them.
I'm just gonna.
But like,
Jeffrey's
it's
just
like
gonna
asking
know
if
the
you're
eye.
principal when you don't know who you're talking to. Don't ask if it's the principal. Like, you could be in trouble then.
Except in this situation, the thing that might get murdered is you.
Then you don't say no. You say I don't know.
I don't think so.
Jeffrey's gonna just yell out, "I don't think so."
You hear the laser going off again, probably from the third one that you can't see, and you hear the smashing of glass, and this high pitched squeal starts to come from over towards the other room. It asks, then it says, it makes a note of clarification. It basically says, point of clarification. Did you interact with the intelligence?
I mean, have you seen this group? There's not a lot of intelligence.
Did you?
Your
Do
wit is not helpful.
Do Heinrich or Beth move to respond?
They're gone.
Nope, they actually have kind of moved behind you.
Jeff's gonna step forward.
I will push Jeff
herald.
back and step
herald.
forward and say yes, I did.
I was gonna herald us.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want you involved. If somebody gets murdered here, it's gonna be me.
Absolutely.
No.
I don't think you have that. Okay.
No, if someone gets murdered here, it's gonna be all of us because there's no way that Othig's letting just one of us get murdered.
As far as I remember, I'm the only one who talked to it.
Ooh.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's like we all discussed about asking questions and we were all in the same place when it was giving information.
Do I have
Like,
any idea how
we all
long you
heard
guys have been here?
Too long.
Too long.
how long
Jeff-
have you been here?
Jeff, you've been gone about 6 months in your brain.
Right. But from our conversation in the last however long minutes here, am I able to ascertain how long they've been interacting with the brain?
I'm with Andy for how the situation is unfolding.
Not long.
It's definitely been too long.
More than 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was probably more than 10 minutes that they interacted with the brain.
Like too long
Okay.
was the beginning of this session.
I was really hoping I'd be able to do something, but I don't.
So the machines seem to interact with each other again, and then they apologize to you. And one shoots a beam underneath you, and the other shoots a beam above you, and you guys need to make dexterity saving throws as you tumble into a chasm below.
Featherfall?
You can cast Featherfall, but you're still going to need to make a dexterity saving throw as all the boulders that are now tumbling down upon your heads are smashing into you.
I mean, either way, I think it's bad.
Let's see. Oh, that's pretty good. Jeffrey, you're going to take full damage.
Yeah.
You're going to take 61 points of damage. Everybody else is going to take 30 points of bludgeoning damage. The Featherfall helps you guys a ton because you fall 200 feet before you hit the bottom of this trench, and then you are buried under rubble.
There's
But
also a problem.
The Featherfall has helped you to survive the impact, but the boulders continue to pile down upon you, and you continue to, up above you, hear blasting.
After the duration of Featherfall, boulders still continue to pile on top of us? Wouldn't they have all like fallen past us?
It seems that the Maroots have decided to collapse the entire structure above you. At least that's what it feels like from below.
How many of us are there?
There are 6 of you.
I can only cast Featherfall on 5 of us. I
That's
am going
fine
to
if
leave
you-
out Beth. No,
No,
Henrik.
leave me out.
No,
Leave me
Beth.
out.
Good luck.
No,
No, you
No,
don't.
some
for
of
real,
these guys
honestly, leave me out. I can fix myself.
We don't have that kind of time to make that kind of decision, and there's no way Jeffrey's going to leave out a granite back versus some random. Like,
I'm telling you, leave me out. This is not the first time I've looked at you this way.
sure,
Okay, we'll play it out this way. I think Jeff's instinct is accurate. Thanak, you can scream that out too. So Jeff, make an insight check.
You
yeah,
wouldn't even have to because we still have telepathic bond.
right.
So he just hears the screaming in his mind.
But this is all happening very quickly. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's beautiful.
okay.
Wow.
So Jeff, you're gonna let Thanak take one for the team. So
If for anything, Spike, because he just seems to want to die.
so Thanak, how exactly are you saving yourself? You are Death Ward, are you not?
I am not.
You are not.
I don't think
Okay.
anybody is.
You are.
I don't have it on my thing.
You died. Well,
No,
don't
I
know
thought you
what
were
that-
the only one who died. I thought
Oh,
Mav was the only
yeah.
one who died.
but he's right. He doesn't have it.
I don't have it, so I
You
don't know
should,
if that
though.
means you didn't. I don't know if that means you forgot to, or if that means if I used it. I don't remember.
No, I don't
Well,
think
it's
you
probably
used it.
because- Oh,
You, I don't think you didn't go down.
Yeah. The
No,
only one
what
who went down was Mav.
Okay. I will cast
That gif.
I will cast where's this?
I don't like that.
Investiture of Stone.
Ah, okay.
I don't like that at all.
All right.
Well, telepathic.
So, you
I'm gonna
feather fall
actually
down.
use two different things. I'm gonna use two different things because Investiture of Stone won't let me move, but it'll let me be in the
Oh,
rock.
you're moving.
No, I mean move side to side.
Okay.
So I will cast Investiture of Stone, and then I will cast what's it called? The Far Step, so I can teleport.
Okay.
And I will just keep myself on the side of the wall where I can grab onto the wall and slow down without.
With your investiture.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. So that makes sense. It doesn't change the ultimate outcome, but it does
that's fine.
remove
Yeah,
the damage from you being pummeled by rocks. So, would you still take falling damage?
I would. I assume that I wouldn't take falling damage, but I would take half damage from rocks falling on me.
Okay, so then you would take 15 points
Okay.
of bludgeoning damage because you did make your saving throw.
Yeah.
So you guys are buried under piles and piles of loose rubble. You all hit the bottom, and you hear Beth call out for Heinrich, and there is no response from him. Everybody else, I don't think anybody else is unconscious at this moment, correct?
No.
Oh yeah, he's totally unconscious. He barely had enough potions to keep him stable.
Yeah.
Frick.
Question is if he's unconscious or is he dead?
I am going to drink a potion. Am I able
Okay.
to drink a potion?
Dead would have
Make
to
a
be
luck
his-
check.
Isn't dead like
'Cause-
his total HP times 2?
It's true,
I
but he
think
could be
it's-
unconscious and bleeding out.
Is it times 2 or is it one hit has to be enough to cover his hit points?
I believe one hit is his entirety of his hit points.
Yeah.
Negative. Like he has to go negative his hit point total. So it depends on where you're at in your hit points. If you right? I
Right.
never remember this.
That's
one.
what- no, that's-
because if you're at 1 health at first level, you're more likely to die from instant kill than if you're at full health.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's your current health plus whatever your max health is for insta death.
So it's your full total hit points plus 1, basically.
Yep. Or plus however many you have. So
Right.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, that you don't know if he is alive or dead. He does not have telepathic bond on him. Unfortunately, Mav is pinned under rocks. He is able to breathe. He is conscious, but he is immobilized.
Mhm.
Jeez. So you said it's loose, but
Well, that depends. It's
like
it's
so
large chunks of rubble with all sorts of smaller rubble buried down upon it.
yeah.
It's more like you're trapped under an avalanche with
So
small amounts of breathing room, maybe a few tunnels in between for people to speak to,
for like
but you're pretty bound up good.
okay. So like moving it seems like it's gonna cause further injury.
It could.
I mean,
You
how are we
you
feeling
don't
to
know.
each other though?
Do I feel like I'm
This isn't
nearby anybody?
you no one can see anyone else.
Okay.
You can hear each other though, so you're not far.
Okay.
Because everybody heard Beth calling for Heinrich.
Mhm. Do I feel any large rubble near me or any?
Oh, there's definitely some large rubble nearby.
Okay, I would like to cast animate objects, and I would like to animate several of the large pieces of rubble near me, and have them start looking for people to
Okay.
get them
I
out
will
of this.
assist in that because I can move through rocks.
Okay. Tony, make a d20 luck roll for me as you are now shifting the pile. Oh, nice.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
very,
Two
very
in a
lucky
row.
dog.
You're flat on the
Um,
20s all of a sudden.
So you shift 10 pieces of rock, and multiple pieces do tumble down. I need everybody to make dexterity saving throws, but it's not as bad as it was going to be.
If I'm assisting him in that, would I be able to hold some of those rocks up?
Yeah, I'll lower the DC
Okay.
somewhat on this. And Adam doesn't.
Oh, I guess I wouldn't
So
need to because I can move right through them.
yeah, you
Or
can move
can
right
I?
through.
I don't know how it would work.
Oh, I thought you were
I
holding
don't
them
know.
up so that the rest of us didn't take damage though.
I don't know quite how the spell works.
I can move
Like how the
across. I can until the spell ends. Bits of rocks spread across your body, and you gain about blah, blah. You can move across difficult terrain made of earth or stone without spending extra movement. You can move through solid earth or stone as if it were air without destabilizing it.
yeah, then you could pass right through them then.
Okay.
So that would not be a problem for you
Okay.
at all. How long does that spell last?
Minor.
Concentration of 10 minutes.
Okay. 'Cause that might come important. So you don't need to make the saving throw. Everybody else is only going to take 7 more points of damage. But moving the rocks around definitely caused destabilization. However, Jeff, you have cleared a path to make a roll to see who it is. To Heinrich.
I will rush over and administer aid, checking his medical status and seeing if there's anything that I can do for him in this moment.
Okay. So that he was just
Maybe at least
about to
reassure
make
Beth that you found him.
his third death saving throw, and his first 2 were 4s. So
Oh,
you
that's bad
you
news.
stabilize him, and you holler out to Beth that you found him. You do not think it's wise though to move the rocks more.
Yeah, I'm going to use my healing touch on him, which is my racial thing, and I'm going to heal
Okay.
him for. Hey,
Oh,
dang,
nice.
13 points with
Fuck,
my
that's a lot.
my magical Jeffrey fingers. And then I will just use the animated objects. I'm just going to use them to shield us above and make sure nothing else falls on us.
Okay.
As kind of like a canopy above us to make sure that nothing else can fall on us without hitting them first.
I have a question, a spell question.
Mhm.
I don't ever use this spell, but I have access to it. Meld into stone. Is that something where you can move in and out of stone, or you can move in and then once you're out, you're out? It
I'm
lasts for
pretty
8
sure.
hours, so I'm not
I'm
sure
pretty
if
sure it is
it's
the second. Like you cast
okay.
that spell and you slide into the rock, and then you don't move.
Okay. Okay. So it's not like an earth glide.
No,
Correct.
but it is definitely, if you have it, a really great way to take a long rest.
Yeah.
It's perfectly safe for you to take a long rest for the most part. I mean, obviously, there's things that can cause a problem. So you guys are down here. It's been about 5 minutes. You hear more explosions from up above you. I need dexterity saving throws again from everybody.
Do we have
As
any?
rock begins to shift. Jeff, you and Heinrich do not need to make them because you have positioned your boulders to protect
Do
you.
I need to make them?
No, you do not either.
Okay.
So it is just Othig and Mav. All sorts of small rocks are now tumbling down between all of the other rocks, and some of them are really hot. They are hitting the ground. They are almost molten hot. And you feel the temperature rise. Mav, you're going to take another 6 points of fire damage. So will you, Othig. I'm sorry, bludgeoning damage. No one's taking fire damage yet.
Am
Six-
I
6 points
able
of blood.
to use to push enough just to get to my potions?
You have a very good strength, so I will let you make a athletics check to try and break basically what is a restraining grapple.
Hey, you guys, we should get
Oh.
together. We should find a way to get
Yeah.
ourselves to each other, and we should get out of here. I want to cast teleportation circle. Mav, can you use Dimension Door to grab the other two boys and get them to me?
Nope.
Why?
No, you don't need to get me because I can move.
Okay. Can you grab Othig and get to me? Why not?
Because
Mav
we
is
killed vampires.
Buried.
I'm gonna cast. Do I need to see him to do this?
I need to see you to suck it up.
Don't you just need to see the effect of the spell?
Yeah, but he can't see.
He's about to.
Well, he pulls the magic in from the source, so he has to see you
pull your
casting
magic
it.
out before you spell it.
Oh, he can't just absorb a spell effect that's in a place?
No,
Because I was going to cast Hypnotic Pattern on him.
there are certain circumstances in which he can do that. This would not be one of them. It's
still have
got to
know
be
that
a
it's
more
coming.
long-term, like powerful charge than a.
Gotcha.
this-
I
And
thought he had
result of the
something.
spell.
I thought he had something that could suck up AOE's.
You are thinking that is correct. It is correct. However, I still have to know that they're kind of coming.
He's
Like,
got to
um,
prep himself. for it.
So if I surprise you, I can cast a spell on you.
Probably.
Oh, that's good
Yes.
to know. I'm really
He
excited
could-
to know
Mav
that.
would not be able to absorb a surprise spell. I don't think you get your reaction. No, you don't get your reaction when you're surprised.
Until after your
or do
turn.
you only get your reaction?
Not until after your turn.
You get your reaction after your turn.
Yeah.
While those two figure out what they're doing, the next time that I see rocks falling, I'm just gonna cast. Wait a minute.
Does Henrik have any abilities? Is he able to help me? Is he dead?
Him and Beth are basically Inquisitor rogues. They're a variant of the Inquisitor rogue with a little bit of swashbuckler tied into them. They don't have any magical abilities really on their own. They have
Yeah.
a unique set of
Skills.
gear and skills that are really important to them, but this is a situation that they're in a lot of trouble in.
Do you have any room around you, Mav, or are you all by your are you squished?
I'm just enjoying my little time.
Right.
to myself,
But can I Dimension Door to you?
possibly.
You can't see
Or
him.
would I Dimension Door inside of you?
We don't know where we are in relation to each other.
Right, but I'm guessing you're within 500 feet.
Sure, but you have to know exactly where you're going.
I know.
You'd also have to have space next to him, wouldn't it? Or
That's what I'm afraid of, is I don't want to teleport inside of him.
I think you teleport inside a bunch of rocks.
Jeff, if you're in Heinrich's situation is any clue to what the others are all facing, there is not much room. The only reason you guys have the room you did is because of your animate object spell.
Yeah.
Which, how long does that last?
It only lasts a minute, but I would have had them rest themselves above me before they turned back into like a
Okay.
shell.
I would definitely
I-
say at this point in time then that minute has passed.
Yeah,
As you're
yeah.
all trying to figure out how to work this all out.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Can I tell by moving around? Can I tell how deep everybody's buried?
You're all within about 10 feet of each other. Well,
What
about
about-
200 feet.
No,
So
I know.
you're at varying levels. Yeah, because you can move through stone. You could map it all out. Mav is the lowest. Othig is almost right on top of him, but there is a thick, huge boulder between the two of them. Jeff and Heinrich are a bit off to the left, and yeah, where's Beth? Beth would be even further off to the left. She's the furthest away. She's right
would-
where you came down, but you had your spell, so
Yeah. Would I be able to cast reverse gravity at a level that is high enough to pull like the layers of rock off people enough to where they could at least start moving themselves?
Oh, give us
you
like a
could
buffer that would be traversable.
Yeah, so
you
that
you
like go ahead.
well, reverse gravity is only 100 feet tall, and you're buried under 200 feet of rock. So if you
But
were to reverse,
that's what I was asking, like how deep is the like so we are
yeah,
fully buried 200 below
correct.
rocks.
Yeah, you're smart enough to know that doing reverse down here would probably kill everybody.
Okay. Okay.
So here's what Jeff's going to do, because I've had time to think. I'm going to cast Mordenkainen's Mansion. And I'm going to take Henrik inside the mansion. And then I'm going to take a safe place to figure out where I can get my friends from.
Okay. So, and you have enough room because of the spell you cast to cast the mansion. So you put the mansion door up.
Mhm.
Are you, I'm assuming you're designating everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to designate all of the people that I have encountered here.
Okay. Yep. And so then you can pull Heinrich in.
Yep. I'm going to tell him to go take a nap. I don't actually know where, because I don't know what this place is at the moment.
Okay. So you've communicated that to, I'm guessing, everybody else at this plan?
Yes. Well, everyone
Okay.
but Beth, because I can't talk to Beth.
Yes, you can. There's gaps in the rocks to where you can all yell to each other.
Yeah,
Oh,
he just regularly talked like
I
this.
don't want to yell only because I don't know what else is out there that could be listening.
Well, other people have already been yelling the whole time.
You can
so.
communicate to me telepathically, and I can just go talk to.
Yeah, you do that. If you can identify where everybody is, and if
Yeah.
you hold on, how long does your spell last?
10 minutes.
Does it matter
8
what
more
form?
minutes.
Does it matter what form you're in?
No.
I'm a polymorph you.
Oh, and
Wait.
that's I don't think that matters.
Wait, but are you able to travel through the stone?
Yeah.
And you're able to pop out of the stone?
Yeah, I'm going to turn you into a giant ape.
Potion on me and put it in my mouth.
Yeah.
That will make it a lot easier.
So yeah, after that, I'm going to turn you into a giant ape, and you can just like clear some paths back to my door, and since
about
you
the
won't take
bugbear?
damage.
No, that's just
Ooh,
gonna
a
create
giant-
more rock slides.
The giant
well,
ape
that
would
just-
definitely create more tumbling rocks.
Sure.
Hey guys,
What's up?
Panic.
Yeah.
Take 3 of the potions out of my pocket.
Okay.
They're the fancy green ones that
Okay.
look kind of nasty looking. Pour one into mine, Othig's, and Beth's mouth. And then when we turn into gas,
Gaseous form.
all
You suck.
Nice,
just
dude.
Yeah.
float into the mansion.
Very
That's-
nice.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's really nice.
Okay.
That's a great idea. Let's do that.
That is an excellent
So-
idea.
You guys all transform into gas,
Probably
and
the best
Thanok,
option.
Fart cloud
Thanok
potions.
travels back and forth through the stone. He's able to pass stuff out just in enough time before he transforms back into regular Thanok. Everybody else turns into gas. There is enough. You have built enough stability thanks to the animate objects to keep a safe pocket around the door, and you guys all cruise into the mansion.
All right.
This mansion
Well,
is a recreation of the Graniteback childhood home.
All right.
The caravan, like the what you guys normally had for your traveling caravan,
Yeah.
in a like a little thicket or glade.
Where Phil tried to pitch his first tent and Thanak had to help him.
yeah.
You
Phrasing.
No,
not,
that was
not
correct.
phrasing.
That was-
I
Interpretation.
am a helpful guy.
Yeah.
Genuinely, an event where you pitched tents.
I don't remember this.
It was
There
one
was
of
a
the
fir-
first things we
yeah,
did.
There was
Might have been
the
the-
first.
Oh, that's right. I rolled like 3 ones in a row
Yeah.
trying to
did.
put a tent
Yeah.
together.
You were very filbert about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all make it into the mansion. I'm gonna guess you're taking a rest. I
We
mean,
should. We
Yeah, we
absolutely should.
absolutely should.
The mansion only lasts for 8 hours. We don't want to get jettisoned out of.
I
Or
thought it was
no,
24
you're
hours.
right. I was wrong. You're right. 24 hours. It's a different one
Okay.
the last 8 hours.
the
Excellent.
hut. Yeah, the hut
Yeah,
lasts
the
eight.
hot last eight hours.
So, yeah. We should definitely take a rest here, then.
Definitely take a rest.
Whew.
Okay. Who wants to make the D20 luck roll?
To get
As
out?
we're figuring out our situation here, and as we're making ourselves safe, I'm gonna collapse the rocks around the door because I don't plan on going back out the door. I'm just gonna collapse the rocks around it so that if anything wants to get in that door, it's gonna have to burrow through the rocks.
Guys, remember, we do have the granite back escape plan that we could activate.
I don't know what that means. Is this
I
something?
go suck up the corner of the mansion to open up the astral sea.
I think that's a worse
I
situation than the one we were
don't
just
like.
in.
I don't like that plan. We can just teleportation circle back to Marilee's tower.
Like that's quite literally from the frying pan into the fryer.
Which, as a note, I'd like to do before we take a rest. That way, I don't have to use that spell slot first thing in the morning. But if you guys don't think it's safe there, would you rather rest in the mansion where we don't know if it's safe, or do you want me to just in the mansion here cast teleportation circle and go to Marilee's tower?
I would like to not leave Euros.
Yeah, we can't leave Euros.
That-
Adam, there's no audio
that-
coming from you.
That isn't really an option at this point. We can't go back out that door.
I don't think anyone's saying to go out that door.
Andy just did.
No, I said I don't want to leave Euros.
He
So
said he didn't
where are
wanna leave
we?
Euros.
Where are we gonna go?
We could just go back to the tavern where we talked with the general.
And Adam, you're muted.
Adam, you don't have audio.
Sorry, I was eating chips.
Yes.
Oh,
How do you plan to get back to the tavern with the general?
Yeah, we can't teleport there.
I have 3 teleportation circles. That's it. I have our keep.
circles, not spell. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't have teleport. There's no way I would mess with that kind of magic. Unknown teleporting is like bad juju in our world right now.
Teleportating.
Yeah,
Teleporting.
No, teleportating. I like that better. That's good.
I don't
So-
want to go to the tower, only because
did you two have a
you know
fight?
you know what happens when you tell somebody you're gonna try really hard to be safe, and then you come back and you're at like 20 hit points.
But you won't be at 20 hit points. If we take
I
a
am
rest.
now. No, if we go there first.
Oh well, then we can go there first.
So what you're saying is,
So,
Problem averted.
is there
I'm not
enough
seeing the problem.
space that we could open the door and dimension door?
Where are you going to dimension
All of
door
us?
to? You're pretty
We need-
sure the building up above you is collapsed.
We
Yeah.
also have 6 people.
But can I get out of the building?
with 500
Out over
feet.
the slums?
Yeah.
We're 200
You're
feet
not
down.
sure. You're
It goes
200
500
feet
feet.
down. Yep. With the distance you traveled through the tunnel to get in here, it would be very close.
I don't like that math, my dude.
Yeah, don't chance it. Basically, too risky. Too risky even for the granite bats.
I just want to say, whatever we were just doing, I don't think we can go back there.
If we
Yeah, probably not.
okay, let's assume that we can What's the word you just said?
Go
Dimension
back there?
door.
Oh, okay.
No, dimension door. Can you Are we able to dimension door 6 people?
Nope.
So
We
dimension
Four.
at
door.
most 4.
No, 6.
We can only do 4.
Oh, yeah, okay, because Henrik and Beth are here.
Actually, Andy, do you have polymorph?
No.
Okay.
I was just saying I could, if we take an hour, I'll get my spells back, and I can cast Pass Wall 3 times, which would be a 60 feet closer. Right? Is that how far that is? Pass Wall is 20 feet deep. So I could get us 60 feet closer.
Doesn't that only work
Directly.
on solid objects, or are you able to put that through rubble?
It works on stone.
Okay.
I mean, which is, it says wooden plaster or stone surface.
Okay.
So in this sense, I don't.
Mhm.
How wide was the tunnel that we fell through?
It was pretty wide. It was about 40 feet. The gouge that he burrowed underneath you with his disintegration ray was about 40 feet wide.
40 feet wide.
It was 20 feet wide long.
So I could get us 60 feet closer. That is assuming I am oriented enough to pick the right direction.
Which you're probably not.
Yeah.
Actually, I would let you make an insight check on that,
Okay.
just because you had less chaos while falling.
Sure.
Right.
Everybody else was tumbling down with rocks and rubble. You were
Also, he was in a position to at least like understand position because he was moving around all crazy.
Yep. Yeah, you got a pretty good idea of where where you fell from. I'd say. I don't know. Yep.
But
So I could do that.
pass wall won't create a pocket for us to exist in.
What do you mean?
If you're burrowing with your pass wall, it's just passing through a space into another space
No, it creates a tunnel.
of open space.
Yep. 5 feet wide, 8 feet tall, and 20 feet deep.
Won't whatever's above that just fall into it because it's all loose?
Yeah, but it's magic, so it doesn't work that way.
I want to believe you.
It's like the spell literally
Mhm.
says absolutely nothing about destabilizing structures. It just creates a hole in the wall that lasts for an hour, and once that hour is up, it completely fills back in. Nothing shifts, nothing falls. It just
Mm-hmm.
creates a
That's
hole.
crazy. All right.
So I could do that. I could. But then again, we still only can't get all of us out.
Just 4 of us.
The only other thing, well, I don't want to say the only, but the other thing we could do is teleport those two back to Marilee's tower.
Also an option. Are they done
And
here?
then they seem done.
They would say, well, they have some reward to collect, but they could always come back.
Yeah.
Choices.
They are more than happy to come back if it means
I
being
would say
buried
that we
alive.
get them back
If it
to
means living.
Marilee, with strict instructions to tell Marilee how in trouble Thanik is.
And how many hit points he didn't have.
Exactly.
Because I can send them. We can take a rest, do this monkey business, and see if it works.
Yeah.
Let's do that then. I'll teleportation circle Beth and Henrik to Marilee's tower, and we'll take a rest, and then
A
we'll
long rest or a short rest?
a long rest.
Okay.
A long
Well, if you want my spells back, I need a long rest.
I assumed we were taking a long rest. I just wanted to double check. Okay.
And then is this where you need that luck roll?
The what?
Yes, I do. Yes, please.
Um,
What's the luck roll for?
I don't
Like,
know.
what-
He
what
said
is
he
the-
said I needed to make
You
one when
don't
we
know?
went to make a rest.
I meant like what's the trigger for? Like, why are we making it?
He said it the last time we said we were going to take a long rest.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Okay.
I did. So, you guys cast your spell. That goes off. You get Heinrich and Beth out of here. So I am going to fully remove them now from the combat tracker.
Combat tractor.
They're not coming back this adventure. Most likely. Who knows what the heck you guys will do.
Isn't that a true statement?
So, but as you start to bed down for a rest, you watch a large fist smash through the door to the opening to Jeff's mansion, and then fingers spread through, and there is a presence outside ripping open the door to Jeff's mansion.
I don't think you secured it very well, Jeff.
I secured it as much as I could.
Did
Something,
you say this was at the
something.
beginning of our rest?
As we go to bed
you guys
down.
basically just you. Thanak gets his hour in to recharge his spells,
Oh my
and
god.
that's it.
Okay. Well, what is it?
So, is it magical? And can
Uh,
I
it
suck
is-
it up?
Is it
It is
happy to
not
see us?
magical. This is a physical happening.
Does it appear to be like the robots?
It definitely looks a lot like the hands of the robots.
Oh gosh, dude.
Mav is gonna go over to the door and apologize and say that nobody's home right now.
I'm going to use my 8th level spell slot and cast Force Cage around us.
I don't know that you want to do that right at the moment.
I don't know that I would do anything else.
We're just sitting ducks then.
Yeah,
Wait, what if you-
inside
what
a
if you-
Force Cage.
What if you put it around the door?
I don't think I can. The way that the spell works, the door is the edge of the space.
What does
I know.
Force Cage do?
What? Why don't you put it? I don't think it lets any magic in or out, does it?
Oh,
Like,
you're 100% correct. Yes, I'm gonna do like
yeah,
Adam
that's why I
said. I'm
you might not
gonna
want to do it. Put it around the murder robots, though.
I'm gonna put the Force Cage over the door so that anything trying to come through the door has to go through the Force Cage, and then I am going to start casting Teleportation Circle. I don't know how long that's going to take or how long we have, but you guys do whatever you're going to do for the next minute. I run and hide in one of the little Vardos, and I'm going to cast Teleportation Circle and tell them that in like just under a minute, come join me.
Okay.
Do I need to pop the potion and maybe do some stuff to keep these guys at bay?
Well, Force Cage lasts for an hour. I would like another D20 luck roll from somebody.
I'm casting a spell. I'm busy.
I'm making
Okay.
pasta.
That's pretty good. The Maruts do seem to be. You watch as the door to the mansion is just ripped off, and now there's this place in time and space, and you can see the astral sea beyond where the door has been ripped off. Jeff, you have the most like shoddy Mordenkainen's mansion ever. People always be busting it up.
Twice now, things have just blown it apart, and I'm like, bruh, that's not how magic works. Like Jeff's just like, what's the point of even having this mansion?
And you see all three of them out there, and one of them says something to the effect of, "Your presence in this area is still cause for eradication, whether you are in a pocket dimension or not." But they do run into the Force Cage, and they start smashing on the Force Cage. There is waves of a magical pulse coming off of them that does seem to pass through the Force Cage. It is hitting you guys. Mav, this is something you could suck up, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be very high level.
Mav is going to slowly work on sucking this up and recharging himself.
Okay.
He would like to ask the robots if they would assist us in getting out of this territory so that we're not cause for eradication.
That is beyond their objectives.
I would like to ask them what their objectives are.
to eradicate you from this location.
Don't forget, Mav, that I can wipe your memories.
I would like to speak to their manager.
Karening intensifies.
Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you,
Yeah, we
but
can
you're
hear
very
you.
crackly. I think you're at the edge of your wireless headphones range.
Yeah, he got disconnected again from the game.
Oh.
What the heck? I really think it's my internet. It's
wonky.
It's wonky. I got to get that other router plugged in this next week. So, Mav, go ahead and make an Arcana check. Thanak, you can too. Or somebody can do it at advantage, whichever you guys prefer.
Taking advantage. Oh, that's probably better than I would have done anyways. Oh. Nope, I would have done better.
All right. Thanak, you don't know what this pulsing of magic is doing, but the fact that it's emanating through the force cube is really suspicious to you. All right. You guys all still there?
Yep. Lost you for a second.
I'd been hearing a lot of like background noise, and it just all went away.
Gone.
Yeah,
I muted my microphone because I'm eating a pickle.
Oh. So the background noise is all Tony.
It's Tony's fan. I heard him turn it on earlier. Yep. Okay, that's totally what it is.
Magic.
Yeah, you will get four spell slots worth of power back. You can distribute them how you want. You can store them all up for 1/4 level, or you can distribute in any combination thereof.
Mav is
Jeffrey
casting Death Ward on himself.
Okay. Jeff, you finish your circle. And where are you going? You got 3 places you can go. Oh, we lost Ryan.
Merrilee's Tower.
Clay.
Because I don't. Well, somebody said something about not going to the keep. So I don't know what that was about, but I know we can't go there.
Is just too far. The keep
Oh,
is
okay.
just too far.
Then yeah, I'll go to Merrilee's Tower.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering if we should wait for Ryan to come back.
Can you send a message to our squid friend?
Not right now. I'm
hiding?
I'm focusing on a spell.
He's nearby.
He went away because of the presence that was.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah.
I forgot that.
But we're gonna need him back over at
Merrilee's Tower. I think
I'll send it once we get there.
Once we get to Merrilee's Tower, I might be able to contact him far, but
was it just me?
It was just you that time.
Oh, wow, what the heck? Okay. What's the last? Did you answer my question?
I did not hear your question.
Did you ask a question?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it came through before I jettisoned out of there or not. I was trying to ask if they were specifically looking to eradicate us or just anything in the area.
You got the impression by the way they behaved, like any sentient creatures in the area were getting eradicated. If they knew, like if they had contact with the old world tech, they were getting wiped out.
Okay.
That was pretty clear. So, Jeff, I need you to make a spellcasting roll for me.
For why?
Because I asked you to, and I'm the DM.
I don't want to.
I don't think the DM
spellcasting. So like a charisma check?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all.
Not good. So you guys go through the teleportation circle, and you find yourself in a small, dusty chamber, far underground. At least you think it's far underground. It feels far underground. You are in some sort of sealed dwarven crypt.
Awesome.
There are multiple ancient sarcophagi in this room. There's 6 of them.
We're all here?
You're all here. but you are not where you wanted to go.
Where were we trying to go? I didn't hear that
To
part.
the
Merrill's
Merrill's
Tower.
Tower.
That might not be a bad thing.
Jeff, we can't hear you, Tony.
That might not be a bad thing, though, because the
Can you hear
teleportation
me?
circle says we're going to Merrill's Tower, but we're not at Merrill's Tower. So those things that might go look for us won't find us there.
What are some of
I
the names
also
on the crypts?
I get the
Around the
impression that
sarcophagus?
the Maroots aren't going to look for us. They just wanted to eradicate anything in the presence of them.
That's fair.
We're no longer in the presence of it, so that might not be actively
Yeah,
trying to
you
find
know,
us.
like the police only care if you shoot a guy when you're there. If you
Yeah.
run, it's all good.
I really hope this
Yeah.
Yeah,
loophole
you're out of their
works.
jurisdiction. They can't chase you out of their jurisdiction when you
Yeah.
commit a
We're in a non-extradition crypt.
Ryan, what did you ask before?
I asked if I could see any names on any of the sarcophagi.
You can. They are the names of ancient dwarven kings, the first 6 kings that founded the city of Euros when the dwarves came up from the deep.
Dude,
Guys, I just turned us into grave robbers with magic.
no, we didn't. But we're actually in an area that might be of value to us, even though we don't know about that yet. Because we haven't talked to the other group.
No, I don't think you that these two things would not connect.
Oh, they wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Nope.
thought one of those things was shoved deep underground, so I thought that was maybe where we were.
Those things are deep underground, but you would, to some degree, you would know in the city where you're at. You're in the royal graveyard, which is several floors below the main city. It's not far from the Temple of Moradin.
Okay.
But you don't see any doors in or out of this place. Adam, we can't hear you. You're muted.
My gosh, sorry. Is this one of those things where we knowing of this place, would any of this stuff show up on any of the maps of the city?
Yeah, you would know where you are.
Would we know like exits based on that, or no?
Well, you've seen this place actually from the other side when your family brought you here on trips to the dwarven city. It's kind of like a sightseeing stop.
Okay.
And you would know that the original 6 kings were all entombed in one hexagonal building. But there are no it's you've seen it from the outside,
But we never.
but
Okay.
there's no doors in or out of it. It is a completely sealed structure.
Well, yeah, it might be sealed, but would we know enough about the dwarven architecture that they would have used back in the day to, get everything down here and then seal it on their way out? Like, can we identify like what was probably like the last thing that they constructed to make their exit? Like, there's got to be a place that was the
Unless it's
doorway at
magically
a point in
sealed.
time.
No, what they would have done is they would have placed the sarcophaguses and then built the walls around it without any exits.
Oh my
So it's
God.
not like a pyramid where they built the pyramid with a passage down in and then built it back out. They built the entire structure around this. And
You're like,
you're inside of it, and just your knowledge of this structure, it is far larger on the outside than you're looking at here. So your suspicion would be that the walls are at least 50 feet thick all around. Because this building is almost 100 feet in diameter.
Danik could find out. He can walk through that.
I'd like to cast
Not
detect
anymore.
magic,
Not until tomorrow.
to see if I can figure out
oh,
like
we're in
what
danger of
wards
losing
would
air
be-
quickly.
what wards would be around.
Yes. Okay. You turn on your detect magic, and this place lights up like Christmas. It is super heavily warded, and some of them are going off currently.
They are.
Oh boy.
I would also like to use one of my activations of True Sight.
Okay. What all does True Sight show you again?
That's an excellent question.
One that deserves an answer.
We're gonna get arrested so hard.
I'd rather be arrested than dead.
No, we're not gonna get arrested so hard. We're gonna have a really great story to tell.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
When
we're
we
in
share
a
our beer.
like we have diplomatic immunity at this point.
I mean, definitely gonna be one heck of a story.
The true seeing. You see things as they are. You notice secret doors hidden by magic. You can see into the ethereal plane up to 120 feet.
Okay. So you see sitting on top of one of the coffins a spectral dwarven king who, the minute he notices you notice him, looks really unhappy about it. You guys can now roll initiative.
No.
Oh,
I will
no.
immediately bow. I will immediately bow.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Immediately bow.
This is so bad. I feel bad about this. I have to get in there and roll initiative. Hang on. I want to make my pasta. I don't want
should have
this
made pasta
initiative.
earlier.
I should have, but I ate dinner, but I'm still hungry.
That is like one of the most Ryan things ever.
Yeah.
Because you're not just having a snack, you're making another meal.
I am
Making
making
another
another
dinner.
meal, and I had snacks in between. I'm still hungry.
Andy, do you have a gong?
We hate you. Like earlier, like when you were talking about how skinny you are. This is it. This is why. The rest of us think about snacks and we get fatter. You eat snacks and other meals. You're
I know.
skinny hobbit.
I do have the exact opposite problem as everyone else. It's not all it's cracked up to be, you know. You should see my grocery bill.
I've seen it. I used to feed you.
Yeah.
Are we rolling initiative? Is that what we're doing?
Where'd that persuasion check go?
16.
16. Yeah, that ain't gonna do it, unfortunately.
Hey, but that's pretty good at disadvantage.
It is really good at disadvantage. But that's not gonna be enough, so I do need initiative. Eyeball is gone. Eyeball is gone.
I'm back.
The chronicler is gone.
Okay, I gotta get back into fantasy rounds though.
Okay, I need. I did not expect to be here.
You know?
How did you not expect to be here?
Fighting a dwarven spectral king.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to derail your death.
Oh no.
Okay,
We got.
we're gonna use this map because it's probably the closest to what I want to do, but even though it's not, like the place. We're just going to be using this middle part. Now, this map shows a sarcophagus in the center. There's actually all 6 of them around the outside. And then let's put you guys on the map. Blink. Put him over here. Currently, Mav is the only one who can see him. But judging from the way Mav is behaving, you are all aware that there is a threat in the room.
Would we be considered surprised at the moment?
I don't think I'll put surprised on you. You are definitely at a disadvantage of trying to target anything, though, for sure, because he is invisible. At least until he gets over to here. Oh, and Adam's talking to somebody. That's fine. And
Does Jeffrey get to go first or no?
Jeffrey does. Yes, you would. Actually.
Hey, can I ask a? I feel like a relevant question before we actually start this fight, though.
Yeah, sure.
So, you said I was able to read some of the names and whatnot, right? On the
Just saw
sarcophagus.
that post. Yes, you can.
Nice, he already posted it. That's great. Um,
Of course, I was waiting.
so of course you did. Oh gosh, Fantasy Grounds is not responding. Great. Would I recognize the? Oh, I wouldn't because I can't see him.
You do not see him yet.
Well, does Mav recognize him? There's like someone he
Um,
would have learned about in like any kind of lore.
you guys didn't spend a lot of time looking around or reading the sarcophagi before this event unfolded, so I'm going to say Mav probably does not at this moment. But history check 15. There was, yeah, no, you just don't have good enough information right now to peg it, but you do know that one of the dwarven kings was not a good king.
Oh,
So, Mav, yeah, you'd probably remember it. You would remember this guy's name. That he would. That most likely this is Bidrak the Blackhearted, who he was known for public executions and leaving bodies up of his enemies to rot away. Very,
I have
very
no
not,
problem killing this guy.
very not good king.
see,
So,
would you have even bowed?
No, I would not have. I'd been like, bring it on. No, that's not true.
Okay.
I'd still probably be like, my lord.
I'm so hurt. I'm gonna bow.
Okay.
All right,
So
Jeff, you're up.
I don't see any threats, but I see that Mavamine looks terrified.
Correct.
It is
All
not
right.
the right word.
Hey, hold on. It actually might be because undead scare you from when you were a little kid. Jeffrey knows all about it. I legend lord it.
This is a wraith, not a banshee. Different.
Specters are specters are specters, my dude. You have a point of
Also-
terror. You don't get to choose what you're
Also,
terrified of.
when you were a little kid, like a year ago.
No, it was way longer ago than that. Because that was before Filbert died. The first time.
Yeah, like in game, that wasn't that long ago.
Nah, it's all
Yeah, it
time.
was over a year.
Okay, so I remember when you were a little kid a year ago.
I'm gonna
Over a year
cast.
ago?
I'm gonna cast protection from good and evil on Mavamine,
Okay.
and I saw him attempt to bow, so I'm really like, no, do it better, and I'm gonna give him bardic inspiration,
Nice.
and that'll be me.
All right. So he is going to drift straight over to Mav, and then Mav, I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh wait, I didn't get to roll initiative yet.
Okay.
You didn't.
Well,
Does he get advantage on that? Because
What type of an effect is this thing trying to do to him?
it is trying to possess him.
He's immune.
He's immune, huh?
He's
So
immune.
laughingly.
All right. So Bidrak kind of looks back at you and he grimaces as he is unable to possess you. So instead,
Can I see
he
him now?
raises
Is he
his
visible
hand.
now?
He is now visible.
Okay.
Very faintly. But he raises his hand and he summons up from the ground a dozen skeletons pop up out of the ground.
I'll just give him a sheepish little smile and be like, sorry.
Doink. Oh, no, that's not the way I wanted to do that. Oh, what the heck just happened? That's weird. Close my map. So these guys are now running around this room. And I will use them as one entity.
Is there already a
But-
map that's open?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
reshare it.
Okay, thanks.
There you go.
Oh wow,
And it is now their turn.
this looks fun.
They are going to take an attack at each of you.
Did they move into my range?
They appeared in your range. They didn't necessarily move into your range. So you
Oh,
don't
okay.
get to use your
Sure.
deal. Mav, what's your AC?
Teen.
Teen. I'm sorry, I only heard teen.
16.
16. So you
Teen girl
are going
squad.
to get hit.
All attacks from undead
Right.
against him are at disadvantage while he's covered by the spell as well.
Hey!
Nice.
Dude,
So they are not going to hit you. Jeff, does a
Excellent.
21 get you?
Me, I think it just hits. That does just hit me.
Okay. So you're going to take 10 points of slashing damage from one of the skeletons.
Okay.
And then it's Thanok's turn.
So,
Did you guys miss me?
yeah, I did. Um, so I'm terrified of skeletons. I don't know what that does though.
You have disadvantage on your attacks against them.
Okay.
It's
I
like
think I
being
do too,
afraid.
don't I?
It's like being a minorly afraid.
So it's fear without the have to run away from type stuff.
Correct. You can still engage them, but other than that, you're afraid.
Mav, you are also immune to that fear while you're under this effect.
Okay.
Why did that happen? Why did that happen? What is going on? What is going on?
Stop moving my skeletons around.
I put my dice on them and it. Why did that happen? Okay, I'll do
Listen,
that.
man, you'd think after 3 years you'd know how to use this
Oh
program.
man. No, I rolled my dice on those guys, and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. All right.
I
You
assume
dropped a 20. How sad.
I know. I assume they can't bleed.
They cannot bleed. You are correct.
So hold on. Ouch. I will drop a. How would if I smite them? Would that because I can only technically hit one person? Would that?
No, it still works. They're operating as a swarm, so a swarm takes the damage of the attack.
Why are you attacking
really
at
just don't wanna-
disadvantage at him?
Because I'm
He's
afraid
He's
of
afraid of
weird.
skeletons.
Right.
Gotcha. I missed that part somehow.
Okay. So
I killed all of them.
just he did. Thanak just starts smashing his way
Nice.
through this pile of skeletons that he's terrified of. And you watch as the bones all hit the ground and but they don't stop moving. They are clattering and rattling on the ground. Mav.
Yes. So Mal. Knowing what this thing wants to do, Mav is going to cast Fake and Oppose, which grants advantage on Wisdom saving throws to everybody within 30 feet. And he is going to take a stabby stab with his spear. Is this thing corporeal?
No, it is incorporeal.
Then he's not going to take a stabby stab with the spear, knowing the futility in that.
Do we have a short rest at least?
Well, you know magic weapons can still hit incorporeal
Okay,
things.
Thanks, T.
Oh, can I?
Yeah. Like you
Oh.
could still stab a ghost with a magic weapon.
Stab.
Oh, that's relevant, Mike. We got a short rest in while we were in the
I don't
hut
wanna
or
take
in
myself.
the mansion.
Nope.
I thought you said we did
24
because
hits.
Thanak
Yeah.
got his spells back. Mike, just clarifying, we got a short rest in the mansion, correct?
You did.
Would we have been able to use our hit dice for that?
I'm gonna say no
Okay.
on hit dice because when you're using hit dice in a short rest, that's kind of an intentional like fixing of wounds. You guys were trying to sleep. Now, Thanak gets his spells back. It only takes him an hour of rest to get it.
Copy that.
Yeah. All right. So it looks like it's Othig's turn now.
Gonna action surge.
Yeah, you are. And drink a potion.
You want me to use that for here?
I mean, you could.
I
to
mean,
be
this
fair,
guy seems
we're fighting a king.
pretty bad.
Okay, potion.
I know one king that's not a pushover.
Yeah.
He's missing at the moment though.
Yeah, he
Well,
is.
you know.
Again,
Um,
he just got back too.
Happens to
missing?
the best of us.
So
Gabriel.
Oh,
So frustrating for him. Got back and then got sucked away.
what's haste do again?
extra
Gives you an
action.
extra-
You You get an extra melee attack.
Extra melee attack. Yep. Not extra action.
It
it's
is an extra action.
before one attack.
Or a
Yep.
dash, or...
So yeah,
Okay, so 1 extra attack. So I'm going to take at least 7 attacks this round.
You also have a +2 to your AC.
No,
You
you
have
used
advantage
a
on
potion?
dexterity saving throw, and you gain an additional attack on each of its turns.
yeah,
Or
but you
additional
used
action, which is 1 weapon attack, a dash, a disengage, a hide, or a use object.
you used a potion, which is a bonus action, isn't it?
Yep.
He gets his 3 attacks, and then an extra attack. Because he's about to action
Yeah,
surge.
that's right. But
Plus-
yeah, but you wouldn't get any more. Oh,
Well-
no, you wouldn't get any more. I don't think.
No,
Plus,
yeah,
your movement speed is
I
doubled.
wouldn't even if I get
Crit.
a crit
Because
because
you
that
don't
was
have the
my
action
bonus.
economy. Yeah.
But you do double your movement speed.
So that's relevant, because you stumpy.
Dude, I've got
No.
more movement speed than anyone else here.
I know, but you're still
Probably-
stumpy.
Probably gives him
Yeah.
400 movement speed. He could probably move faster than a monk.
Anyway, I'm taking my 7 attacks.
Basically, it's a boxy at this point.
don't way to open that up. That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Call down the
I-
thunder, sir.
Oh, you took that holy weapon off me.
Yeah.
I believe I did, yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Just want to make sure before I started swinging. A 1. A 2.
You didn't do... Oh, you did do... Okay.
A 3. A miss.
Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Jeff, you gonna fix that?
Yeah, I will.
All right. Well, the fix was a 2, so it's not a.
But it's
Still
not a
gonna
crit fail.
miss, but it's not a crit fail.
And my last one then.
All right. So you lay into Bidrak.
And then I'm just gonna move right there.
Okay. All right. Jeffrey.
Are the bones considered objects right now?
No, they are not, because they are still animated.
Balls. I was going to animate them for my own bidding. Um, Jeez, I don't got a whole lot that I can do in a situation like this. So I'm just going to cast Greater Invisibility on myself and go and hide. But first I'm going to I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Thanak.
Okay.
Thanak, be inspired. This is your king. No one bows before... You don't bow before anybody. I don't know. Who is this guy?
Do well. Score a
Who
goal
is
unit.
this cotton-headed ninny muggins? And then I'll cast Greater Invisibility on myself. And can I run up a little bit, or like can I go down into the right on the map?
Yeah, you can go all the way up to the outside where the wall of the map is.
Apparently his name is Bidrak.
So yeah, I'm gonna go over there
Okay.
with Greater Invisibility.
You
Just
do
hide.
watch his eyes. You do watch his eyes track you as you run over there.
Gross.
Yep. So let's see. You,
So Greater Invisibility didn't.
however, are now outside of this. So
Oh,
on his turn,
good.
he starts to shriek that you are defilers, traitors, and you are not worthy of being dwarves. and everybody needs to make Constitution saving throws except Jeff, who just skedaddled out of his range.
Good thing I'm not a dwarf as I run away.
I have a 21. Thanic has a 19. Because we both have a inspiration.
Inspiration.
Okay,
Inspiration.
you are all going to make it, which is really good.
Because he kills you.
Oh.
Turns out he's a banshee after all.
You all take 25 points of damage, and he looks much healthier.
Oh,
What
no.
kind of damage?
It is technically it's thunder damage because it's sound, but it's dumb to call what he just did thunder damage.
Okay.
But technically, that's what it would be.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
And then he is going to make one swing at Mav.
At disadvantage.
And he has disadvantage?
Yeah.
You said it was 25 damage?
Yes. Mav, what's your AC?
16.
1-6.
He is just going to miss you with a 15.
Clutch. My penny whistle does it again.
So the skeleton army is pulling itself back together, but it is not back together yet. Thanak.
Huh.
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 Oh, I missed that sound. I've noticed you
this
never
is-
really do that as your tabaxi. Huh.
This is not a disadvantage, correct? Because he's not a skeleton.
Correct.
Well, I probably could have fixed that for you. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were still scared.
He's always scared of skeletons.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Sorry.
Well, that's right. All these guys are because of that incident.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, man. That's it.
I'm proud of you.
And with my bonus action, I will cuss him out.
Good.
You're
All
a
right.
real king.
We need a real king.
Mav.
Mav.
We need a real king. Oh.
Oh, hey, Mike, would an 18 hit him?
Let me check real quick. Yeah, because you still have that +1.
Yeah.
It would.
Oh,
It would actually.
It's going to take an attack opportunity against me.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
That is no set disadvantage, so that is going to miss you.
Okay. I'm going to use Divine Precision to add 10 to my attack.
Okay.
And then... my attack. Nope, not that one. Guiding Bolt. And then cast that at second level.
Oh.
And then everybody within, I think, 15 feet of me. Oh, it wouldn't matter. Jeffrey's 35 feet.
Yeah, he's fine.
Is going to get 24 hit points back.
Oof.
Nice. Very nice. You'll have to remind Thanak of that when he comes back. I don't know if he's got his
I'm
headset on.
listening. It was 24.
24.
Yep. Anything else, Mav?
Nope.
Oath it.
I should have done that first, but
I
okay.
was just saying, Mike can fix it if Adam's not there.
All right. I'm going to move over here and use Pincer and not put it on Thanak because I'm going to move away immediately after doing this. It's my last use of it because we didn't get a long rest in. Pincer! And I will take my 4 attacks. Pretty decidedly a 14. Really good I had advantage. That is
That just
impressively
barely
bad,
hits.
but still works. And equally impressively bad, but worked.
You just barely hit him on those two.
I know. I bet I did. Just barely hit him. Rerolled that 1 to a 5. Yeah! And that is my 4 attacks. And then I will move here.
Okay.
And that includes your haste attack.
Yes, because it was 4 attacks instead of 3.
So I need everybody to make wisdom saving throws as the tomb begins to whisper, and you hear your names being called, and you're going to be pulled. They're saying things like, "We're going to pull you into the grave," and all wonderful, tasty things that ghosts like to say to people.
Also
Panic,
use a
you do have an
potion.
And Mav, you should be immune to that, I'm guessing.
What save
inspiration.
con did you? Wisdom. Wisdom. You said wisdom.
Wisdom.
Why would he be getting? Why would he be immune to that?
Because he's anything that would charm, possess, frighten, or otherwise beguile you
That
from an
should
undead
be-
source, he is immune to while he's under
Wait,
the
why am
effect
I
of
rolling
protection from
wisdom?
good
This
evil.
is actually going to damage you. I think Thanok's going to be immune to it though, because it is
I was-
psychic damage.
Yeah, then
Oh, okay.
I'm immune.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh,
But you
we all have
will. Let's
advantage
see.
on this. Okay.
Everybody made their saving throw though because Mav tossed that inspiration onto there. So
Do I get to
it
send
will
it to
only-
somebody else? So successful?
Oh, your inspiration? Yeah, you get to inspire somebody. You want to inspire me or
Jeffrey.
both? Yes.
all right, cool. Everybody will take 8 points of psychic damage.
Oof.
So glad
Jeff.
I used a potion just then.
It's Jeffrey's turn. So I would like to, and you can tell me how much of my turn it would take to do this. I would like to use my normal heralding, and instead of using persuasion, I would like to intimidate this fella and just be like, "Hey, we weren't grave robbers, but when we kill you, not only are we going to take your stuff, we're going to make sure that everybody knows you were a chump, even in death. Welcome to the Granite Backs, baby."
Okay. Make an intimidation roll.
All right.
So that was my job of the group.
Intimidation. And then just because I just got it from Mav and it's my first time really getting to use it, I'm going to take that inspiration as well and toss it on top of it just to make sure he knows I'm serious. So that'll be a 30 total.
Okay.
And then I would like to, if that didn't use my action, cast suggestion on him and just say submit.
I think that was too large to also cast a spell.
That's perfectly fine. Can I use a bonus action?
Yes, you can still use your bonus action.
And then I will use my undeniable logic on him to let him know that he has no hope.
Okay.
So he'll have disadvantage on his next saving throw.
No hope.
Or no, I get to remove a D10 from his next saving throw. That's what it is.
That's cool. So I am going to make a roll to see how he responds to this intimidation because, Jeff, you are probably not as aware of Dwarven history and the panic that has been caused at this. People are not thinking about it, but they needed to kill this guy 12 times to keep him dead. And he is going to respond to you. He still does look intimidated, but he basically looks straight at you and says that he's been killed dozens of times and always comes back to draw the blood of those who attempted to kill him.
Then I guess we'll have to put you in a jar.
So that is how he responds. Anything else, Jeff?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Then it is his turn. He is going to fly away from Thanak and come straight at Jeffrey.
Unacceptable.
I can make an attack at him.
Yes, you can. I am going to give him disadvantage on this round because of the intimidation.
That's helpful. That's good.
Do I
I
get to
rolled
hit
it
him
on
as well?
me for some reason.
That will still hit him, so go ahead and hit him.
Okay.
And you watch as a large spectral axe appears in his hand.
Oh, I don't like that.
Okay. I'm sorry, that did not roll at disadvantage. Let me roll another one on you. The first one will hit you. The second one is a little bit better, so you are going to get hit. And do you have any immunities to necrotic damage?
Oh God, I don't think so. I don't have any immunities to damage at all. I'm a squishy little boy.
Okay. So you're going to take... Oh, it didn't roll damage on you. Why didn't it do that? There we go. Try again. And Jeff, you're going to be put down. I need you to make a
Yeah.
wisdom saving.
Yeah. Is that still an advantage from the beacon of hope?
Yes.
Yes, it would be.
Wisdom saving throw at advantage. I'm visible again. Very good. 22.
Very good. Okay, so you do feel him tugging at your mind, trying to rouse you up off of the ground to fight for him.
Gross.
Yep. And let's see, let me make my roll for the skeletal army. They are still putting themselves back together. Thanok.
Mike, do I get to make an attack at him?
I'm going to say no, he would have skirted your distance.
Okay.
He's smart enough not to get in range with you. He sees what you're using.
He sees what I'm cooking.
He's still only a wounded.
Yeah, this is bad.
I've literally hit him like 15 times.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a smite on that. Is he immune to prone?
Yes, he is.
See him into prone.
I will. You know what? I will use my inspiration on that. It's a D10, isn't it?
Yes,
It
it is.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oof.
But I don't lose it, right?
Correct. You get to keep it.
Okay.
If it does not help you succeed, if that was enough to put you over a threshold for something, you would get to use it to give it to somebody else. But if it does not succeed, you get to keep it.
That's what I thought. Okay. And that'll be my turn.
Sounds good. Mav.
Mav is going to move forward,
Oh, crap.
cast Divine Precision for the second time, and shoot a guiding bolt at it.
Oh, yeah!
Okay, so
What does
we're going
Divine
to
Precision do?
unleash my 6th level spell on this guy.
Oh, I forgot Jeff's on the ground. We should have done something.
I'm gonna take care of it. Don't worry.
Okay.
I think Mav is right now, actually, by using Divine Precision.
It allows him to heal somebody when he casts a spell.
Oh.
Everybody.
Dude, he finally pushed him into heavy.
Jeez.
I'm
And
proud
then
of you.
Everybody gets 24 hit points back.
Yes. Oh gosh, needed that.
Can you remove the unconscious effect from me, Mike?
24, you said?
24.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously needed some help.
You said they had to kill this guy how many times?
Dozens.
Dozens.
He's been killed. He said he's been killed dozens of times, but history says they had to kill him 12 times.
Okay.
Exaggerate.
And then
You know,
Just
villains
because I
usually
can.
do. They're always talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, or you can't.
Jeffrey, are you gonna?
Yeah, you go ahead and fix it. I'm awake now.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you can go again.
Seriously, as I wake back up, I'm just gonna be like, Asmodeus couldn't do it, neither can you.
Yeah.
I'm just talking all kinds of trash to this dude.
Seriously, like you get up in the moment that you wake back up, you're like, Asmodeus couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What makes you think you can?
As Mav goes to swing, and I'm just like, no, a little to the left.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Alright, 4 attacks.
All right, Othig, do your thing.
Do you thing. Do you thing. Okay, 1's
2
crit.
hits. 3 hits. 4 hits.
All right, 1 crit coming up. Actually, you want me to roll them in order that I did them? I suppose
Nah.
it doesn't matter, does it?
I'm at 4th level.
So there's the crit. And then I'm going to use Second Wind.
Okay. I need everybody to make perception checks. Everybody is conscious. Yeah, Jeff's up.
I'm awake. I
Oh, that's a good one.
ain't dead yet. Oh, jeez. I'm very perceptive, apparently.
3 plus 20s.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ooh, I'm pretty on it tonight.
Hey, you're not bad. You're not doing too bad. So you guys are all watching now. It looks like there is something happening where over here on this wall.
Oh, the cavalry is here.
There is a spinning circle of magic appearing on that wall.
Is it
Do I
good
see
magic
anything
or bad
special
magic?
coming out of it?
Nothing's coming out of it yet.
Okay.
It's just magic.
Suck it up.
It's either
like-
good or bad. I don't know which way to go.
You could suck it up, you
Don't-
feel, if you wanted to.
What color is it? Is it green? Is it red?
Wait, he has detect
You
magic going,
asking
doesn't
what
he?
color the magic is?
Yeah, because
It
if
looks-
it's green magic, it's healing.
Honestly, it looks
Aberration?
like black spinning fire.
Oh, that's bad.
That doesn't sound good.
Throw him in it.
This sounds necrotic. Oh, bye, Mike.
Bye, Mike. That's happened a lot tonight.
Black swirling magic or
Mike
I blanked
disappearing.
for a minute.
I
I'm
mean,
back.
yes. both.
And did you still have the bacon going?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And that just maximizes the heal, right?
Yep.
Oh wait, what? Nice.
Oh yeah, your heals are all maxed.
So was my potion max then?
And your
also?
second wind.
Oh
Everything.
gosh.
Everything.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So, and then the layer effect goes off. I need everybody to make dexterity saving throws as the bones laying about begin to swirl around the room.
Why is that an advantage?
Not a clue.
I don't have a clue either. But you dropped a 5, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right. Jeffrey, you are the only one going to make this. Everybody else is going to take full damage.
I'm a nimble-footed little
Everybody-
jerk.
Jeff, you'll take 9. Everybody else is going to take 18 bludgeoning and piercing damage. And as you begin to bleed where you're hit, you watch the blood soak up and go straight towards Bidrak. And
Hey.
he does look healthier.
Bro, I'm going to need you to stop doing that because it's really hampering my mellow, all right?
And then, Jeff, it's your turn.
I'm going to
Beacon of Hope
use...
gives us advantage on save.
Yeah,
Oh,
advantage
just-
on wisdom saves. Oh,
Oh, I'm hasted. I get advantage on dexterity. That's the
There it
blood.
is.
Oh yeah.
gosh, oh, real hurt. Thanak, where
Well,
are
I
you?
have to-
You're by me, right?
Add
I'm
some health to
sort of
myself
by you.
because
Yeah. I want to heal you.
4 more. Potion.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Thanak, you've been real helpful. And you still have an inspiration, correct?
Yes.
Brought you alive.
So I'm gonna come over here, and I'm just gonna pull up my penny whistle, and I'm gonna play you a little melody, and it's gonna be the song "When I Think About You, I Touch My Elf." And I'm just gonna slap you on the butt, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds out of the penny whistle, which happens at a 6th level.
Wow.
So you will take max healing from 68. I don't want to do that math in my brain right now, so I'll let you fix it. And then through that, I'm just going to give Mavamine a wink and be like, you got it. So,
Is it 68 plus anything?
no, I get no bonuses on that because it's from the penny whistle.
Okay.
So that'll be my action, my bonus action. And this guy Has he taken an attack of opportunity on anybody else since his last turn? Because somebody moved away from him last time. Was it Mav?
I moved
Mav
away
did.
from.
Yeah,
him and-
he's had his turn since.
Okay, so he has his thing still.
I can
Yep.
move away from him as soon
Um,
as I hit him.
So yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking trash. I'm just gonna look at him and be like, "Bro, you have no idea who you're messing with, bro." And yeah, that'll be my turn, I guess.
All right. Well, he's still really mad at you.
Yeah,
So
as he should be.
is going to attack you again.
Yeah.
That's going to get you.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna hit a lot harder. Bye, guys. I'll be back.
As he goes down, I'll look at the bid rack and be like, that's got to be like 14 or 15 on just on him that he's come back.
Yeah.
So he's going to turn his next 2 attacks on Thanok.
Guys, I love that even when we're losing, all we do is talk trash to the bosses. It's just like that's our shtick. Hey, what'd you guys do?
Thanok once.
We cussed out Asmodeus. Hey, what'd you guys do? Well, we met an ancient king and we told him to lick our boots.
Yeah.
Jeff, I need you to make that wisdom saving throw again.
Oh, frickety frick.
That was a heavy hit.
Yeah, he hits hard, my dude.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does.
that's bad.
Jeff, you are immediately risen up. Everybody looks at you. You have no eyes.
That's
Your
not
eyes are
good.
gone. And
It
you are
isn't-
fully restored. Your hit points and your spell slots are fully restored. And you are completely under Dudester's control. You may now attack your friends on your turn to the best of your ability.
I don't have anything that helps
And
with that, I don't
that
think.
brings the skeleton army back.
Okay. No, I'm not. There's nothing I can do there.
I'm going to make attacks on Thanok and 1 on the others.
Because was this still his attack round, Mike? Was he still attacking me?
Yes.
But he had already attacked Thanok as well?
Yes.
Okay.
The resurrection happens at the end of his turn.
Oh, okay. It wouldn't have mattered. So, because I was
Okay.
going to try and use my second chance to make him roll again to attack me, but either way, I think I would have gone down.
Mike,
Mav,
I can swipe at the army.
No, because they just form up out of the ground again.
Okay,
I just moved them closer for people targeting it.
got it.
Mav, your AC is 18, correct?
16, but I don't have that anymore.
Have what?
Okay.
Disadvantage against me.
Why?
Because
I
it's
have to turn.
down.
I have to turn it off on my turn.
Oh.
It's on the penny whistle. I have to turn it off, which
Okay.
I'm going to do on my turn. Don't worry.
Well,
All right,
I'm
so then everybody will get missed. Thanok, you're up.
Unless somebody fixes me before then.
I mean, I can put you down if you want.
No, I think this is going to need like a greater restoration or something.
Hey, Mike.
Hmm.
This is a question about how you do swarms.
Yeah.
If I were to do something like cast enemy as bound on the swarm, would it attack itself?
It's a good question.
Has the bad guy made a saving throw anywhere? He hasn't. Has he?
He is not.
What a loser.
Yeah, I think it would.
Okay.
I think that's a good use of that. I think it would attack itself.
Okay. I will attempt to cast that on them. It's not a. Hold on. So they failed.
Ooh, that was
so
probably pretty close. That was pretty close.
that was pretty close. So yeah. So they can attack me. They just hold on.
Also, they want to hit whatever's an enemy.
Yeah, they lose the ability to distinguish friend from foe.
Yep. No, that's cool.
Everything it sees is an enemy.
Right on. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Mav.
Is handing somebody a potion an action? Not making them drink it, just handing them to it.
No, I would rule that a bonus action.
Is a bonus action?
Mm-hmm.
Can I make an Arcana check on the spinny wall of death behind us to see if I feel like I can figure out what may be happening with it? If that's reinforcements coming through or death?
You definitely can do that. Yeah,
You have an inspiration.
You are uncertain at a 12.
Do you have a war gong?
Oh, nice. Very
Inspire
nice.
somebody, my dude.
Inspiring. Well, I'm assuming that did assist in my knowledge.
It did. It
I'm going to
absolutely-
inspire Orion.
Okay.
Not
So
Othing,
Othing
Ryan.
The Othing gets the inspiration. Mav, it appears as you look at this thing that there is a portal forming.
Okay, that's
No.
probably a good thing. I'm not going to mess with it.
You cannot tell what's coming through the portal, but there is definitely a portal forming.
It's true. Okay, well, for my action, I am going to use the healer's kit on. When did we use the healer's kit last? Was that before the short rest?
It was before the short rest.
Alright, I'm going to use the healer's kit on Panic for 23. And attempt to move away.
Okay, he is going to take a crack at you.
Me too.
Jeff can too.
Yep.
I actually have a thing I can do with that too. I'm excited. I'm gonna hit you with my whip, sucker. First time I ever
Yeah.
used it.
Since I made the whip, do I have like a button that I could just turn it off?
No, you do not.
Oh.
I do have to roll it, Mav.
Give us like a
Oh,
sabotage button
Mike,
that
I'm
just doesn't pop
unconscious.
up in it.
I think I still hit him. Does the 18 hit you, Andy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm still marked as unconscious, Mike.
Is what?
I'm still
marked as unconscious again.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. I knocked you down.
Even
again.
at unconscious, I still hit him. So, oh, Andy, I am so sorry.
He's still up. He made it.
Yeah.
Still hanging in
Um,
there.
and I didn't crit you, so you're not grappled.
Oh, dude.
So there's that crack of lightning that goes off, and that's all of my charges on that stupid thing.
I love that you blew all your charges. I'm so proud.
I am a bad guy right
You're
now.
lucky I can't suck that up.
I'm the
You
bad.
are a bad
Actually,
guy.
it's magical. I don't know if you can or not.
Mm-mm.
But it's your
I'm
turn,
not
Sam,
gonna let him
Dorothy.
suck up magic weapon charges.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was a thing he could do or not. I don't know a whole lot about bastions.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
should remove your wounds.
I would. How? What?
Oh.
I don't have any.
I just took them off you.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha. I'm good. I'm alive and well.
Oh.
I hate this guy.
There's a crit. You should.
Alright. That crit out of
So
the way.
does everybody else.
I'm most upset right now because I can't talk trash anymore. It's really the only thing I'm good at.
You
know
can
what?
crash
Can.
against the granite backs.
Yeah.
Us, yeah.
Oh man, I completely can. I'm gonna work on that. Give me a second.
I will talk trash for you. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't
good.
worry about that.
Don't you worry about that.
And
Mike, did you see my message?
Sorry, man. I did not.
Nope, you're
I
good.
will look at it now. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. It's my turn. That's part of the.
Oh. No. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, so hold on. It is the top of the round. The
Yep.
spinning circle does open up all the way. There is a tunnel now leading into the room, and the magic dies behind it. And then what layer action are we on? Oh yes, the second skeletal army appears.
Hey, they're on my side.
Put that one there, a little bit smaller. Okay, Jeff, it's your turn.
Yeah, it is. It is totally my turn. Um, son I am going to.
Oh, I had another attack.
You can go ahead and make it.
So I'm going to turn off Mavamin's protection from good and evil.
So rude.
First things first. And then right in front of the boss man, I'm going to make a hypnotic pattern.
I don't know what spell that is, but you need to make a
Oh, sorry.
saving throw. No.
Jeffrey is casting a spell.
No, yeah. Constitution saving throw, Jeff.
17.
Nope.
Is that not enough?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
What level spell is it?
Oh gosh. Third level
Hypnotic
spell.
pattern, I believe, isn't it 2?
No, hypnotic pattern's a third level spell.
Nice.
Third level illusion spell.
Oh, then you might actually save.
Okay. You'll have to let me know. Do we have any sponsors that I need to say while we're waiting?
Nope,
Yeah.
you don't. Sorry.
I don't save,
Nope.
so the spell does not go off.
Yep.
All right, and then I'm going to I'm going to inspire the king.
That's so
I'm be-
beautiful.
I'm gonna be like, hey, you know all those things I said about you? I didn't mean a one of them. You the real champ. And then I'm gonna good game him. So on his next saving throw, he still has disadvantage, or he has a minus D10, but he also gets to add an inspiration if he wants to.
Okay. So he begins to wail again, and I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Does that include me? His
Nope.
Thane? His Herald? Ooh, do I know everything about him now? Can I herald him?
So let's see here. Mav, you're going to take 40 points of not psychic damage, thunder damage. Everybody else is going to take 20.
Oh,
We no longer have Bacon of Hope.
oh.
That's lame.
And then he gets one attack.
Is he still gonna attack Jeff?
No. He wants to, though. You slapped him in the butt. He didn't like it.
Backhand me
He
like a
swings down on
sniveling
Thanak
servant.
and misses him. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Frickin' dang it!
Boom! +9.
Dude.
He gets to inspire somebody.
He'll inspire the skeleton horde because
Oh,
he doesn't like you.
man. What a jump. What a chump.
He's just using you.
I know it somewhere deep inside my evil little husk.
All right, and then let's see. I got 2 armies that are each going. Well, the one is going to spend 2 attacks on itself, and the other 2 attacks on Thanak. And then the other one is going to spend all 4 on Othig. I'm going to hit Thanak once with a crit, and
Jeez. So,
I'll hit-
it's a concentration spell. I can't be crit, but I only have 3 hit points, so I'm unconscious.
okay.
So,
Well, then I'll hit itself first
okay.
because those are the first 2 rolls I made.
Bark.
Hello, doggo.
And then Thanak is going to go unconscious. And then Othig is going to get hit once.
for 23.
No. For 6. I'm sorry, 10.
My AC is 23 currently.
I rolled a 24, and I hit you with a 24 earlier, so I knew I hit you.
Dang. Okay.
Yep.
6 points.
Yep. Thanak, make a death saving throw.
And Beacon is gone.
Beacon is gone.
You do still have an inspiration.
Mav, make a death saving throw.
Can you use inspiration on death saves?
I don't see why you couldn't.
It's a saving throw.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was like an active.
No, from my understanding, the way that they've talked about it, it's for anything.
You want me
That
to give
is a
Thanak
saving
a
throw.
potion?
Give Mav a Mina potion.
You're
Mav can heal
currently
people.
the only one conscious that cares about
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah,
wow.
that's
your
right.
choice.
Oh, geez.
Healer's choice.
Actually, you're hasted. You could give both Mav and Thanak a potion.
You could.
you should do that. You
Just
should
so
do
we
that.
Go right back down to the next turn.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen here. It's better than not being.
Oh my gosh. What an awful choice. I hate this.
Well, I mean, like Mike said,
This is awful.
you're hasted.
Yeah, I'm hasted. I could. Well, no, because if you guys take a hit, then you're
But
dead.
it's better than us having to make another death saving throw.
Yeah, because if we get hit, it's
Dead. You're dead.
yeah.
Yeah, which is not good.
No, you both succeeded, so you wouldn't be dead if you got hit. But it's
Just 'cause we got
-2.
hit once.
If we get hit, isn't it 2 death saving throws if we get
It
hit?
is.
Yeah. But you succeeded
Oh.
once.
I see. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but there's also
potions.
we're also surrounded by a horde, so they have an advantage on hitting us with multiple attacks.
And you definitely want Mav awake for my next turn.
I was saying, we definitely want Mavaway to just suck up his spells.
Because I'm about to do something bad.
All right, so
Steelwind Strike coming out. It is.
I don't have any spell slots for that. I used up all my high level spells trying to get out of the hole in the ground.
Yeah,
You're restored. You have all your spell slots.
No, I don't.
that's what
I
he
said
said.
that.
I
you said
missed
that at
it.
the beginning.
I'm
That's
sorry.
why I thought I was getting
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Oh,
wouldn't.
man.
I wouldn't have used the hypnotic pattern.
I know.
So I thought it was a weird choice, but paralyzing everybody is not
No,
a bad move.
I
so
was going off of the fact that I only had a 4th level spell slot left. Oh, this is gonna get
You
so
were
much
fully
worse.
restored.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
Can I give potions to both of them without taking attack of opportunity? It looks like I can. I'm checking with
You would take one attack of opportunity from the skeleton mob. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have to. You'd be good.
Okay, I was just checking. So I will dish out 2 potions.
Oh, I can't tell you that.
I don't even know.
I don't even know either, man.
They'll be 1d6s plus 1.
1d6.
Yeah, I have some.
Yeah, but that's not
Okay.
Dude, I don't know either. I have them.
a one.
Maybe they're filbert potions.
Filbert
They might have
potions
been
are
a
still
bonus potion or something special. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
either.
entirely possible.
All right.
If they're in Ryan's inventory, I trust him enough. All right.
And then I guess I would just go. Oh, jeez. That's central area so that I can. I don't know. There's like no good spot right now. Yeah, I'll just end up right there, I guess.
All right. That is the end of the round. And so at the end of the round, 3 dwarves come bursting through that tunnel, and they are all carrying dwarven holy symbols. And they are chanting in dwarven for the dead to return to rest. And I am going to make a saving throw. Or
That's
2 or
awesome.
3.
We totally need that.
You are so lucky you didn't suck up that hole. I had a plan if I TPK'd you, because I knew that was possible when I dumped you in here. But you're just lucky you didn't suck up the hole, because you would not have liked the plan. You're probably not gonna like being saved either here, by the way. So these guys come pouring through this hole, and the king kind of starts to freak out, and the magic of the room. Many Mav would see this. Many of the wards start going off, and they are affecting him specifically. And he backs up and kind of like starts to jerk and almost like have seizures, and he gets yanked back towards his crypt, pulled into it as the skeletons collapse. Jeff, you collapse to the ground unconscious, but set free.
That's really good because I was about to use mass suggestion at an 8th level, which lasts for 30 days.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Well, I can't now.
Well, you can now.
Well, he doesn't need to now. I will say, Ryan, you might
You
have
would've
killed
been
him
able
had you
to.
attacked him this round too.
Yeah.
Gosh, I was thinking that might be the case. Dang it!
It was a big gamble though. You would have had to do over 80 points of damage, which I know you can pretty easily.
Well,
But
it's average of 20 plus. Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty close.
it's right there. It'd have been pretty risky, but you might have done it.
Yeah.
These three
Roll 'em
dwarves
to
come
find
running
out.
over to check on you, and then one of them stops short and turns around and just walks away. And he is super ticked off. And you hear him mumbling that if he'd known it was you, he'd have let you die.
I hate you.
And he climbs through the hole.
I hate you so much. I didn't know
And
that
I think we'll stop.
I didn't know I would be here. You're a jerk and I hate you. I'm the only one that knows.
So yeah,
How many more? How many? I'm still dying.
That would have been 5 attacks.
you can each have 15 hit points back.
Mike, would that have been enough for Ryan to kill him?
Well, I would have hit 5 times, and one was a
5?
crit. Yeah, because I got a crit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Would that have killed him?
Yeah,
Roll your damage. You need to break 86. You're probably gonna get there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, dang it, guys. I'm so sorry.
Twice.
However, had you killed him, you wouldn't have freed Jeff.
Excuse me?
Oh,
Sorry. Excuse me?
Yeah. Just
I-
killing him doesn't free the thrall because he's not actually dead.
Excuse me?
Historically, and you'll be informed of this later, that he is
He's unkillable?
unkillable. Anytime they have tried to defeat the spirit of him, he always comes back.
And no one knows why.
Yep. They believe it has something to do with his necromantic pacts.
Right,
that
he made a deal with somebody.
Yeah. That's where we're going to stop. We'll play again next Thursday, and you can find out who the grumpy dwarf is.
Hey, just as an aside, next Thursday is the first of the month, which is it's the first day of work, and it's supposed to be the busiest day of the month. I don't know. I make my own hours, so it's entirely possible that I just
So make your hours around D&D.
I that's the plan. However, one of the one of my first days it will be an observation day. So if she's observing me that day, it might be a longer day, but
Mm.
I can only put in 8 hours in a day anyway.
Have her come observe you playing D&D.
The gist of it is that I should be home right about worst case scenario. I should be home right about 5 my time, which is 6 game time.
Okay.
So feel free to start, and I will join you guys when I'm home.
That's the
I
same
think
for
we
me
can
Wait a
anyway.
couple
So.
minutes because we'll start at 6:30. Your guys' Central
So
Time.
that'll be 5:30 my time.
Yep, we will play
Okay.
6:30 Central Time because I'd rather eat dinner with my wife than it just makes more sense for her and I. So
Okay.
and then
Okay.
we'll start, but Tony will always pop in 15-20 minutes after. Even if you were a little late that week, we'd just wait for you both to show up like we did this week.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Cool. Have a good night,
Alright.
guys.
All right. Good night, guys.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Thanks for having me back.
Welcome back, dude.
into like a pumpkin patch or something before we move.